Greetings, this is Warrior King, and the time has come for the lions and the lioness to tell their own story. This is the lion's voice. Give thanks and praise for the wonderful blessing that's been poured on me. Give thanks and praise. Jah use a yet an instrument to set the people free. Jah give her the powers to chant. Jah give her the powers to chant. Ras Tafari, the lion's voice.
This is Mama Thea of Asli Pure, and when I want to hear the story from the lion and the lioness, I listen to Lion Voice with Ras Kwasi Bonsu.
Greetings, this is Rashilo. The time has come for the lions to tell their own story. See? This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, sir? Rashilo said that. Are you satisfied? Wipe those tears from your eyes. I'm all alone, still you thought I was telling a lie. This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, sir?
What are you waiting for? Come together, calling from near and far. Know who you are. What are you waiting for? Rally up, it takes the dust. What are you waiting for? Ancestors paved the way for us. Yes, I am Ketis Oyonde, asking, what are you waiting for to come together? The time has come for the lions to tell our own story. This is the lion's voice.
Yes, Jah people, this is Michael Shamai representing. I will say, hear the lion voice, saying it is time for the lions and the lionesses to tell their own story. King David killed Goliath with a stone, we original dread.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Ras Tafari, live it. Hey, the lion's voice. Ras Tafari.
Alright, listen to me now, people. The lion roar, no dog bark. See? The lion's voice with Kwasi Bonsu. Time right now for the lion to tell his story. See? Listen up.
Amina, the time has come for the lioness to tell our own story. No surrender, no retreat, we are Jaja soldier. Rougher than the streets, tougher than a boulder. Bigging up lamb's voice. Now put it, I Jollifer said that.
Yeah, now the time has come for the lion to tell his own story. Yeah, the one them called Celestial I represent for the mighty lion voice. And this a shook up your planet tectonic. As me sip up my roots and tectonic. And you can't make me jump nor get panic. Have the engine a run like mechanic. Room.
I will never stop, hail the Most High. And I will never stop, call Rastafari. Blessed love, this is Kushite representing for the Lion's Voice. We are here to tell our own story, Rastafari.
Yeah, David Dread of Steel Pulse, and I'm saying hail to Lion Voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here, hear me now. Yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice.
Yeah, Ras Tafari, Empress Ferkete the first. Tell the people about Empress Ferkete. Well, even if the stars they fall and the moon turn into blood, but to the coming war we stand tall. I will shower you side and me nah both. Think I found the love of a lifetime. I love you every day or the night time. Almighty, I made your light shine, and unto I, your love was a lifeline. Think I found the love of a lifetime. I love you every day or the night time. Almighty, I made your light shine, and unto I, that light was a lifeline. It seems like the world is upside down. I will never hide, I'd rather stand my ground. Lion of Judah blessed with the triple crown. Can't come fool I with no circus clown. Now fear no hurricane or the cyclone. Respect for Mama Earth with that embedded on me bone. That's why I will never leave you alone. Protect you from harm when the alarm sound. So even when the stars they fall and the moon turn into blood, through the coming war we stand tall. I will shower you in my love. And even when the people start mal, when they see their city streets them flood, when the hurricane blow down our wall, I'll be by your side and me not budge. Think I found the love of a lifetime. I love you every day or the night time. The Almighty, I made your light shine, and unto I, your light was a lifeline. I think I found the love of a lifetime. I love you every day or the night time. The Almighty, I made your light shine, and unto I, your love was a lifeline. They say hurt people, maybe that's why Babylon them so evil. Maybe Babylon abused as a child. That's why them no like the light when you smile. That's why them no like how your body curve. The way how you dance keep on Babylon nerve. Them no know how the Almighty you serve. Born to be a queen, so a king you deserve. And
what do you have to tell the people about Ras Tafari?
Light to the world. King of kings and the conquering line of the tribe of Judah. I like himself. Where's rightful ruler? Hey yo! Yeah, hail them high, hail the black king on the 23rd of July. So tell them guy who praise God up in the sky, it's a lie. The Almighty living on your night. From ancient time them a try. Them Romans know them just open them suit and ties. Criminals ain't got no alibi, they stole my people. Then them come without them genocide.
Are you talking about slavery?
Them couldn't kill the lion we come conquer Judah tribe. Go through tribulation, and I strive, see sufferation, and I still rise. That's why we tell them in America, live Ras Tafari in every ghetto area. We come to tell them in a Toronto, straight at it. In that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I, glory and honor in the name of His chosen Queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Banso, aka the Chasmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man. I'm a creative industry attorney, I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I am the host of Lion Talk Live. Welcome to Lion Talk Live and welcome to the Lion Voice Network. Tonight, exclusive, instant classic episode. Get your ital snacks together. Get your meditation prepared. Tonight, we're going to Trinidad and Tobago. And we have a panel that is legendary for the platform. I am not a boastful brethren. I don't have a Bugatti and I can't afford a Ferrari. But I was able, to the powers of His Divine Majesty, to make some phone call and assemble a legendary panel from all sides of Trinidad, and we're gonna get to meet them tonight. It's gonna be one of those nights. High frequency reasoning, Rumors of war. That is the topic. You know what I mean? Rumors of war is the topic, family. Right now, according to the news, a U.S. strike on Venezuela is impending. The U.S. is spending hundreds of millions of dollars per day to keep a fighting force, over 15,000 Marines, Air Force assets moved into Puerto Rico, Trinidad, warship, the biggest warship, along with the battleships accompanying it in the Caribbean Sea off the coast. All of this build-up, and they are ready to strike Venezuela. There is a deal in place between the United States and Trinidad, and Venezuela has already sent a threat that if the U.S. invade or bomb Venezuela, Venezuela going to send some bomb over Trinidad. Family, the item know we've had so many Rastafari brethren and sisters from Trinidad on this platform. The item seeing the intro, you know, Trinidad artists. We have been one of the, I don't think there's a platform online that have more Trinidad Rastafari than I here at the Lion Voice Network. I could be wrong, you know, put it in the chat, be ready to defend it if I'm wrong, but I don't think so. So the question tonight is, are we prepared? And then, of course, we had to get someone to represent the Pan-African community. So give thanks, Empress Sharon Linkai, with a legendary community organizer, someone from the theater creative arts community consultant, legendary in Trinidad. So the panel tonight, my family, top tier, you know what I mean, when we talk about insight. And this is why we built this channel. We built this channel because I was not seeing online the Rastafari that I loved as a young university student attending Howard University and going to the Nyabingi house, seating up with legendary elders who talked about geopolitics, match it to the prophecy. You know what I mean? Right now, I can hear my elder Ras Iris saying, "Come out of her, my people. Let's ye be partakers in her sins and share in her plagues." And then he would pull out the prophecy, Revelation 18, Bongo Jack. You know what I mean? With Elder Jack, he would say, "Jaffe, Isaiah 45. You know what I mean? I shall call my sons from afar, my daughters from the ends of the earth. You know, even everyone that is called by my name." So I remember these things seated up in the, and I'm talking about a different Brother Jack, because we have Bongo Jack on tonight, but we had Brother Jack from the legendary Ras Michael and Sons and Negos, Ferkete man, Nyabingi elder, same way. He was here in DC with I and I, elders like Ras Pido, Mama Bubbles, and I mean, ones with Trod True, Irie Lions. We would talk about these times, you know what I mean? They said the islands will sink. We have Hurricane Melissa. And before I go any further with the program, I always have to bring attention to the Hurricane Melissa relief efforts, you know what I mean? We've been highlighting RMO works, and we want to continue to highlight the RMO in Jamaica, Rastafari Mansion and Organization. This is one of the members, Ras Simba from the House of Dread, preparing SIP that was then taken out in care packages to the affected areas. So we want to acknowledge them. We're getting some new footage in. I know I've been showing this. This is what I have right now. We're getting some new footage coming in that's going to highlight the work a lot better. You can see the water, care packages, and literally just going to the Pitford Nyabingi Center, not Scott Pass, House of Seba, and you know, ones are so glad to get the little nourishment, because right now, my family, the thing is a lot worse than their advertising in the media. So big up the RMO, Rastafari Mansion and Organization, the Rastafari Relief, Rebuild and Rise program. I've been sitting in some meetings with
all of the Rastafari media is coming together. Rastafari TV, Just Jam Magazine, I Just Star, Honorable Priest Kale. I mean, you name the platforms, them. We have the whole of them coming in a oneness right now around this effort. And these are things that, we wanted to do, but it's happening. And that is the tone that I want to strike tonight with even what's happening in Trinidad. Babylon is doing what they were prophesied to do. They have no choice but to do what they're doing. I don't burn my government. I'm in Washington, D.C. I don't want nobody come on my yard either. You know what I mean? But I just know that the government is doing what they must do according to the prophecy. I'm a prophecy man. Everybody have them way to Rastafari and them declare it. I come through the prophecy. You know what I mean? And through study, education too. You know what I mean? The history and the prophecy put together. So I don't even want to spend too much time other than to educate people as to the history. We will go into the history tonight of the conflict because this is a high level reasoning. So we definitely want people to know why it's happening. But I don't, if you come here to see we fire burn the government and make some inflammatory statements, and I hear they're arresting people in Trinidad for licking out too, we'll hear about that too. This is not the platform for that. This is now, how can we prepare? How can we unite, use this for the unity, the great repatriation, the great return of African people? How does this fit into that? We're going to talk about a lot of things. But again, before I do that, I do have to take care of some housekeeping. Big up everyone in the comments. If you're just joining us, we're already 35 strong in the live. I know hundreds more will watch on the replay. Let us know where you're watching from. This is an interactive experience. Lion Pride in the chat. Let the people know. Welcome the newcomers them, and let them know how we operate around here. We're very friendly on this platform. Pure high reasoning in the comment section. You'll see. But let us know where you're watching from. International platform. We have people that watch from Europe, from Africa. People stay up late because they know the quality that we are going to be bringing forward. Before we go forward, we want to big up the Lion Pride on Patreon. We had our town hall meeting. The town hall meeting is we have monthly subscribers, how we finance the channel, and the vision is to have a full-time operation with a budget and a staff. That is the two buzzwords of this channel. From time to time, we do ask the audience, what are the buzzwords of the channel? My two buzzwords are budget and staff. If I'm in a reasoning with any collective and we're not talking budget and staff, I take with myself because it's not a sustainable thing that we're talking about. We're big people now. We have to know, how we're doing things. And you have to talk budget and staff, you know what I mean? So those are my two words. And how we fund the Lion Voice Network is our monthly subscribers. We do have a lot of expenses, and we're looking, we will be switching to a better camera setup and all of that. We're working on that. You see us experimenting with different things. We have to get some more components. That's all financed by the audience. You know what I mean? So we give thanks to the Lion Pride on Patreon. We're trying to reach 50. We're at 42. We lost some people. We're at 42. Also welcome our new Lion Pride on Patreon members from Local 12 EWF representing. I'm a proud member of EWF Local 12, and some of the members now are starting to join and support because they realize to stay independent family, we have to be crowdfunded. There's no other model. Collective security has to be the $5, the $10 is the only thing that can combat the corporate companies with the hundreds of the millions of dollars. And those people are never going to tell our story. We have to tell our story, but we have to invest and finance that story. And we want to get into a lot more than just interviews. We want to get into animation. I am an author. I wrote a book on the birth of His Majesty. I would like to make this into an animated feature film. You know what I mean? We have Avatar and them big movie there come out. Tell the people the story they want to tell. What about our Rastafari stories? we need to tell them. So we're asking the ones them join, you know what I mean, come on board the family. Let us build together. When we hit 50 in the Patreon, we're going to be doing monthly grants to one person. We're going to vote in the Patreon and give a monthly grant and interview to some worker in Rastafari, a little stipend, you know, showcase the appreciation of. So we want to do collective works like that. We also started to highlight the works of our Lion Pride on Patreon. So if you look in our community tab, we have our sister in Empress Danielle and her Kingman. They're doing some mighty works in Ghana. They have a GoFundMe. We don't make any representations about the work. I can't go and inspect, and you know, so when you donate, you're dealing with that one. We want to make that clear. I am an attorney. I have to give a disclaimer. You don't know. However, we have the platform, so we want to make sure that we're using the platform to highlight the community. We have shattered the myth that Rastafari just burn herb, listen reggae music, we don't do nothing. If you watch this channel, you know that is rubbish, and that we have highly productive people, you know, family people, and we're all about building families on this platform. This Saturday, we're going to return to the Rastafari man standard. So we're going to be talking about manhood, being a purpose-driven and productive man as a Ras. You know what I mean? We don't want a lazy man call Rastafari name, because Haile Selassie is a worker. So we don't want a lazy man under the quiet to try mess up the name of Kadamawi Haile Selassie the first. So we're bringing that. And the request, we have a lot of young Rasses that say we want to learn. We're just coming to the Liberty. We live in an area. There's no Rasses where I am. You know, bring the teachings. So we're going to continue that this Saturday. Sunday, special episode with Yasa Safari, a dub poet out of Jamaica, legendary. He is launching an event. We're going to be doing an exclusive with Yasa Safari. So we have things can done here, you know what I mean? So big up, support the platform. We have to invest. No one is coming to save us. And if we don't invest in the things that we find have value, you know, we have to get rid of this freeness mentality, you know what I mean? And we have to build. We don't have a school right now, and we're supposed to have a school. We are also friendly in our Patreon community to single Rastafari brethren and sisters. We have 2 single brethren in there right now, you know what I mean? And we're very accommodating. We want some families to come where, as I said, everything is about the family unit. My queen is my producer on this broadcast. She's not here tonight. So if you see any mistakes, it's my fault, because when the queen is here, the thing I chop. But when it's I have to do everything, you know, we might make a couple mistakes. But as I tell everyone, do what you have to do. It's not going to be perfect, but the perfection comes within the doing. You know what I mean? Don't make mistakes. Mistakes and failure are part of the learning process. You know what I mean? We cannot fear these things. We just have to push through, try to do better. This is the teaching, you know what I mean, of Kadamawi Haile Selassie the first. Big up CMAS Life, big up Frontline Books, big up everyone in this great ecosystem, Rastafari ecosystem emerging. Big up the 57,000 members of the Lion Pride growing every single day from around the world. I know that this one is going to be a classic episode. All right, me long-winded, me chat too much. I know the keepers them have everything negative to say about what me just say. And I give thanks because everyone is part of the ecosystem. However, now we are taking the time to introduce this legendary panel. Family, as I said, I do not have a Bugatti and I cannot afford a Ferrari, but I was able, through the powers of the Almighty, to make some phone call and to assemble fire angels from out of Trinidad Tobago. Please help I to welcome the Trinidad and Tobago Rastafari and Pan-African family. What a joy. Blessings, blessings. Hold on, let me unmute everyone. Let me unmute everyone. Let me. Sister Ferkete, you're gonna have to unmute yourself. If you muted yourself, then you have to. I can't unmute you.
Blessed
Do we have
love.
everyone? Yes. My elder, Bongo Jack, everyone is here. Legendary. That is all I have to say about this right now. Tell you, I don't want the people there to see me smile too much, before we start talk as a serious topic. All right, so I'm gonna allow everyone to introduce themselves, where in Trinidad they live, because we do have a good Trinidad audience, and what kind of work they do. Just give us a little bit of background about yourself. We'll start with the Empress Q.
Blessed love. I am Empress Q, Lanachat. I am located in South Trinidad. I function with Empress Men and Rising as part of the executive, which is a Ras Tafari women's group here in Trinidad. And also, I'm a well known ganja activist and founder of the Stay Calm It's a Plant movement. We also founded the Herbies Awards, which is a national ganja awards to celebrate all the growers who've been doing it pre-decriminalization. Trinidad and Tobago still isn't legal, but we are decriminalized, and that has forwarded a lot of opportunities for budding ganja industry. And I'm glad to be part of it. And I know we have a lot of ones and ones tuning in. And yes, I give thanks for the opportunity to share with my brethren and sister here, and with our global family as well, to what is going on in Trinidad and how we can prepare for what is to come.
Give thanks. Powerful. We have one of the legends of the 12 tribe of Israel in Trinidad. Someone I was already looking for this elder. We talked with he did a legendary trip to Ethiopia. I think is one of the largest delegation to try to Ethiopia in modern time. And when I heard about it, immediately me tried track him down. Me do these things, when they them don't know me at work. Me I try chat down, and we finally, through Bongo Jack, Naya Bingi elder was able to link with Trini-Levi, and you'll hear him tonight, but we're going to have a separate. You might forget him one separate. Everybody on this panel who is here tonight has to get their own separate. So forgive you're seeing them here in the panel first. You saw the Avengers movie. Some of them people, you meet them in a group, you know what I mean? And then them get them one movie. This is like that, you know what I mean? So everyone here is going to get their own time. But please introduce yourself. Our elder Trini-Levi.
Greetings, brethren and sisters and the worldwide. I am Trini-Levi of the 12 tribe of Israel. Just simple, Trini-Levi of the 12 tribe of Israel.
And I was told that, I said, everybody said this elder is the most humble elder. He's not going to tell you about all the work him do. You have to pull it out of him, So I overstand. And it's widely said that the 12th tribe of Israel in Trinidad is one of the most well-organized, strongest chapter of the 12th tribe of Israel on the planet Earth. I hear that. You never tell me that, Trini-Levi. So you can't deny, what I hear. I just hear that Trinidad 12th tribe, and I hear this from 12th tribe. I have a lot of 12th tribe brethren. So I just let the I know what I hear. How do you feel about that?
Simplicity is the way to go, my brethren. We don't boast and brag. It's all for one and one for all operating in that manner. It's no failure. So it's not about who is best or who first or who's last. It's one for all and all for one operating in that manner. No failure.
The teachings of His Majesty, no devil philosophy around here. All right, Manaya being ancient, Bongo Jack, please introduce thyself.
I Selassie the first, Empress Menenai, King of Kings and the Queen of Queens, conquering lion and lioness from the house of Adwa prevail, conquering and to conquer. And I greet you in the divine name of the Mother and Father of creation. I Bongo Jack, coming out of the ancient house of the Nyabingi. and also functioning as a member of the All Mansion of Ras Tafari, trying to unify Rastafari over the island, even here far and abroad also. So such as an I work, I'm from south of Trinidad. Pfizer, it was Pfizer bad, but when Bonajis come, we see to call it Pfizer good. I'm from Pfizer good, the land from one of our greatest freedom fighters, Cuba Boss Butler, who liberated enough of black people in this Trinidad in the 60s and 70s. So and I greet the whole world, the whole congregation, the whole viewers with a whole kiss, love and fire.
Give thanks, give thanks. Royal Empress Ferkete Amlock, please introduce thyself.
Greetings, greetings, in the name of His Imperial Majesty, Haile Selassie and Empress Menenai. I just want to introduce myself. I'm Empress Ferkete Amlock. I am a member of the Empress Menen Rising Group, Women's Group, and we are a group of empresses within different houses of Ras Tafari that come together to do community work, empowerment of empresses within the group, and charity work as well. I am a simple empress. I'm not an entrepreneur yet, but I'm working on it. Still in corporate, a womanist. I'm an avid reader. I'm a community activist, and I'm a mother, a recent and new mother.
Yes,
So,
yes.
give thanks to that and give thanks to creation and life. And I'm glad to be on this platform to share knowledge and to be amongst like-minded, beloved brethren and sisters.
Give thanks for the eye. And she's no stranger to this platform. We did a episode on her, very beautiful episode. So go and look. Click the live tab. You can look at her episode. That time she was with child. So we give thanks that the delivery was successful. I saw the Kingman earlier. Big up to the Kingman. We love the families over here. You know what I mean? And every time I see the I family, I just smile to see such a young family thriving. You know what I mean? So full joy. These moments, they're gonna go fast. I have 2 teenagers. You know what I mean? And them don't want to deal with I, you know what I mean? So take all of the time with the baby.
Give thanks.
Yes, yes. And then finally, we have our Pan-African, because sometimes as Rastafari, we just talk to ourselves. You know what I mean? And we are always rooted in community as Rastafari. The root of the tradition that I learned is that Rastafari is not just for Rastafari. Rastafari, we are part of the Pan-African family, and I've been very clear since the inception of this channel that this channel in part is to strengthen that bridge with Rastafari and our Pan-African roots coming out of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, recognizing the early pioneers in Chicago, Grover Redding, Reverend James Webb, all them man there, you know, who were Pan-Africanists. James Webb, who said, look to the east, was a Garveyite, same way. So all of these connections, you know, we have those Pan-African roots and we will keep them. That is what makes us strong. And so I am honored to introduce our next guest and have her introduce herself. She came highly recommended for the work that she's doing. She's known lovingly as Auntie Thea in Trinidad, but she is, of course, a Royal Empress, Theodora Uleri. Please introduce yourself. Hold on. I think I muted the eye. Sorry, go ahead. Introduce thyself.
Yes, Theodora Uleri.
Uleri, sorry, okay.
Uleri, yes. Well, it's Uleri, but we have distorted the French, being Trinidad. I am an arts education facilitator and a trainer. I have worked extensively in schools and communities, utilizing the arts and culture as a means of active learning with a focus on the needs of the community or the target group, So we utilize the arts to get the message across. I have done work extensively in schools in Trinidad and Tobago. I've also done some work in Nigeria and the Caribbean, several Caribbean islands, and that's it.
Give thanks. And we're also going to be welcoming Royal Priest, Right Honorable Priest Imsley, who was also no stranger. He had another meeting and that he was chairing. So he'll be joining us in the second hour. So we'll have him introduce himself when he comes to the table. And I just want the items to the Ainiti. We have Naya Bingi, 12 Tribe, Bobo Shanti, here on the platform, Asians on one platform, one voice, one sound. There is a Trinidad All Mansion that they are all part of as well. So we'll also want to get a little bit of information later about the All Mansion efforts in Trinidad. Again, this is why it's so important that we have this reasoning, because Trinidad has really quietly been setting a model. I think the global Rastafari family needs to examine and strengthen, you know what I mean? Let us put it that way. So we're going to start with Auntie Thea, because I want to get the historical context for this conversation. This is a high-level reasoning platform, so we want to make sure before we go into anything that we educate ourselves on the historical relationship between Trinidad, Venezuela, and also the United States, Trinidad and Venezuela. Why this hankering for regime change coming out of the United States? What are the implications with the geopolitics in terms of the oil, all of these things on the chessboard? You know, can you give us a historical context? And then I'm coming to the Empress Ferkete.
Okay, what we have seen so far, thus far, is that, well, I mean, even a blind person can see that this is not at all about drug cartels and running after drug dealers. We all know that it is all about oil. The oil in Venezuela that the United States is desirous of usurping. So thus far, 3 ships have been blown up. 3 boats have been blown up in the Caribbean. I think there's a total of 70 people who have been killed. And the end result of all of this is the fact that people are in fear, or people are scared. They're running scared, and we are not hearing from the powers that be. The Prime Minister has been silent so far. She has not been, speaking to the nation concerning this issue that is very concerning to Trinidadian people and Tobagoan people. Recently, they put up a radar both in Trinidad and in Tobago, and they are blatantly lying in our faces and telling us this is not at all about Venezuela. It is just to monitor drug runners or whatever. So we all know that these people have a hidden agenda, and it is all about oil, and it has nothing to do with capturing the drug cartels. So far we've had a rally in Woodford Square.
Okay.
It was not well attended. There were about 200 people, or maybe a little over 200 people. There's another one carded for this Sunday. Hopefully it will be, I think this one will be, will have a better attendance. But basically, I think that the people are quite laid back, quite complacent, not at all aware of the crucial nature of this entire scenario, the fact that there is impending war. We are not ready. Trinidadian people and maybe Tobagonian to a lesser extent are not making themselves aware. It's business as usual. It is business as usual. Nobody is taking this thing, very few people are taking this thing seriously. There's a small minority that have the awareness, but people are going about their business as usual, day-to-day lives. You understand? So generally, this is the bottom line, and this is the situation as it stands.
Is it true? Because I've heard that Venezuela has said that if they are invaded, that they are going to bomb
Yes,
Trinidad. Is that
they
true?
said they did. Yes, they did. They did. And you see, our administration, our prime minister has been making inflammatory remarks. At one point, she had said, "Kill them all violently." These are the people in the. I mean, the thing about it is, without a shred of evidence, they have killed these people in the book. You know that these are fishermen, you know, who are going about their business, and she said, "Kill them all violently," and she's been making inflammatory remarks that will exacerbate the entire situation. And she has made a trip to United States, and she's been talking with all of the officials there, and returning without giving us information as to what she has discussed. I think it may have been yesterday she made an about turn and tried to say that if Venezuela is attacked, she would support, but nobody's buying that. Nobody's buying that. So that all of these inflammatory remarks have been made. The situation has escalated, and we are all preparing for war. People are not taking it seriously, and that is my concern. Our people are not ready. They're not aware. They're not concerned. Party as usual, lime as usual. Carnival is coming. Christmas, parang. Even on the airwaves, you would not hear the talk show hosts giving any updates on the situation. They're just playing their music.
That is why.
Dirty songs and all.
That's why Rastafari independent non-aligned media is so important, because we want to use this episode to sound the trumpet for our people, to let them know this is not business as usual. This is not playtime. Because I'm sure that them bombing in the sea is making fishermen weary about going out on the sea to fish.
They have not been going.
Yeah, that's going to have impacts on the food supply chain. If there is a war, the ships that deliver imports to Trinidad are not going to be coming in regularly. This is going to create food shortage. Are we planting food in anticipation and storing food? These are the questions we're going to be asking tonight. So this is not a regular show just for jollification. This is Rastafari people playing our role in this prophetic time to sound the trumpet of preparation. You know what I mean? Empress Ferkete, please just build on what the elder has started in terms of the history and set the context for us. We're going to give everyone a chance to build. This is how we love Rastafari reasoning. This is how Rastafari build through the four corners of creation, through reasoning. So please just build on what our elder has said.
Give thanks. Just to add to what Sister Thea would have explained about our political climate right now. I know we want to give a historical context, but I want to stress on the fact that our Prime Minister is playing with Trump and MAGA, Make America Great Again rhetoric. She is manipulating that rhetoric to rally support from her political supporters, her diehard political supporters, and she's using inflammatory language in order to create, like rage bait with her followers in terms of trying to support Trump, the Republican politics, because a lot of her followers, based on social media and the influence of social media, they kind of play into that rhetoric that Trump he used to win the election, and Kamala is doing the same, right? The same language he uses, she uses as well. He is very ambiguous in his statements on what he intends to do. She does the same. She is following everything he does, and she's playing with her political membership and just using blind loyalty in order to, get people to support this narrative of an anti-drug effort, right? We all know it's not about drugs, and we know it's not about narco-terrorism. That is a fallacy created by the CIA to create a false flag, which they always do. They did that in Libya, they did that in Sudan, and they basically just create a false narrative to get support from their citizens. They're just concerned about the natural resources and the oil and the minerals. We know that. And reason being, this is a long-standing battle between Venezuela and the US. And if we go back to the Cold War, and even before that, they always had an interest in our region for natural resources. And they always try to play politics and try to instill fear and do fear-mongering with our citizens, because we know that they are the bigger states, yes. And they try to instill this big bad Uncle Sam, big stick coming to the Caribbean to get rid of socialism. But, well, I would say not all of our population is educated enough to understand and see the games that are being played. But most of us, we remember. Some of our citizens, their memory is short, but most of us remember. I'm sure Auntie Thea remembers, because she is a woman of age, so she will know from the different time periods, different tactics with different countries and different governments, right? So if we want to talk about history in Venezuela, right? Before Hugo Chavez, there was a two-party dictatorship, right? With the right-wing elites oligarchy in Venezuela, right? Who controlled all the resources at that time, before Chavez. I think he was a soldier at that time, and based on the economic conditions and the poverty, he organized protests, right? And within those protests, they killed thousands of Venezuelan citizens. And I don't know if Auntie Thea remembered that he was arrested, and he made a statement on national TV, and he said, "It's not over." I'm just paraphrasing here, but he said, "This is not it, and I'm coming back again." And he did come back, and after he had these violent protests, and he organized these violent protests in Venezuela, when he was released from prison, he ran for elections, and he won democratically, and he took over, right? And then he created a socialist government, and then he slashed poverty by 50%. The country was doing very well. He nationalized the oil reserves, and things was going good. I remember as a little girl, when my grandmother used to tell me stories about this, and we used to look at it on news. This was the early 2000s, right? She actually named one of her dogs Chavez, right? Because she was so in love with this man. He was a charismatic, figure at that time, and he did a lot for poor people in Venezuela. But there was a lot of interference from America to try to undermine his efforts to get Venezuela where it was at that time. So in 2002, there was a US-backed coup with CIA operatives. Then there was disturbances from 2002 to about 2004. And that is what I remembered. I remembered that as a little girl looking at that on TV with all the protests in Venezuela at that time. And he managed to make it through all of that, despite all the efforts to undermine him and delegitimize his government. He still managed to make Venezuela a very good country. Venezuela actually provides oil and resources for all the other Caribbean countries that does not have oil as a natural reserve, right? As a natural resource, sorry. So he provides resources for them. I think it's called Petro-Caribe, right? And he did a lot for us in the Caribbean. So we know the value of Venezuela and the role they play in the Caribbean, right? But America is trying to undermine them since then. Since I was a little girl, since my grandmother was younger as well, right? Because they had the two-party regime. So just like in Trinidad, we have our two parties, our two major parties, but it's two sides of the same coin, right? And it's the same thing in Venezuela. At that point, it was the same thing. And the country, the citizens organized and overthrew those governments and created a socialist government. And for years, they're trying to have a Cold War with Venezuela about trying to instill capitalism and as a dominant economic system within our region, right? Let's go back to Grenada and the situation with Maurice Bishop, right? Where he tried to instill socialism and, well, he did it, right? And he did lots of good works in Grenada, sorry. And look what happened in that situation. He was assassinated. They basically did what we are fearing will happen to Venezuela. They did that to Grenada. And that is why when they wanted to go into Grenada recently within this conflict to install the radar, the Grenadian people stood up and said, no, we don't want you here. We don't need you in our politics. We don't want you in our country. We don't want to involve ourselves in your proxy for to try to undermine the Venezuelan government. We don't want that. But in Trinidad, it's a different climate because of the political situation that we have right now with the party that is in power. I know we don't want to drop any names or get too political.
Let me explain. Stick a pin. Let me explain. I told my sister, because I'm in Washington, D.C., they're in Trinidad. It's a tense time. So I said I didn't want anyone on the panel to say anything that would put them in danger or of reprisal. So we wanted to keep it more to solution, the history, and these things. So that's why I said in the beginning, I'm not expecting too much fire burning and Babylon, brimstone type of reasoning, because we overstand, you know what I mean? And I say, in terms of my government that they're talking about, they're doing what they were ordained to do by the prophecy. They can only do what the Most High allows. So that is how I treat them, you know what I mean? But go ahead, if you want burn a fire, just put out that disclaimer.
Yes, we need to burn fire. We need to burn fire on propaganda and misinformation and disinformation that is spreading on social media. That is a major issue. They are using social media to misinform citizens and fear-mongering and rage-baiting citizens into believing a particular narrative. What they did to win the elections in America, they did it here, and they continue to do it. Yes, we understand that this is tense times, but this has happened already, and we got through it, right? The Venezuelan government has been facing this for years, right? For years, this has been going on, and it's always tension, Russia getting involved, China backing them, and then eventually they will just, everybody will just go to separate ways, and everything will calm down, right? So, but the reason why I wanted to say that, our government is complicit is because they're using this narrative to create fear amongst our citizenry, and then we have a lot of false ideas floating around, and then they're arresting people and all that, right? And then they want to complain about the immigrants that's coming over into Trinidad and the US, when they know what is happening. They are aware, especially the officials are aware of what is happening and what the US is doing with the sanctions that they did to cripple the Venezuelan economy, that caused a lot of Venezuelans to come to Trinidad. And then they're using this narrative to say that we don't want migrants here. They are arresting migrants just as they are doing with ICE in the US. If you realize it's the same thing America is doing, Trinidad is doing. So they're arresting migrants, they're denying permits, they're taking away permits, they're minimizing the amount of work permits they're allowing Venezuelans to have. So they are in support of what America is doing and what they're trying to do to undermine the Maduro regime, right?
Yes.
And that is very problematic. That is why Venezuela threatened to bomb us if anything goes off in their country, because we are showing that we are in 100% support of America.
Wow.
We are actually mimicking everything that they are doing, right? Even though we are in the Caribbean, we signed treaties before the Monroe Doctrine and all the other treaties that were signed before, with all the other conflicts that happened through the years.
I'm glad you said that. Stick a pin right there, and I'm gonna go to the eye next Bongo Jack, and then I'm coming to the eye Trini-Levi, and then we're gonna go and then we'll switch, but we'll go through the entire panel. I wanna just share my screen very quickly here. We're gonna talk about, I wanna give the people the background on the Monroe Doctrine. Let me pull this here, because this is high level. We're in a schoolroom tonight, family. You know what I mean? We're in a schoolroom tonight. So we want to read the Monroe Doctrine. We'll go to the AI. The AI said the Monroe Doctrine is the cornerstone U.S. foreign policy that prohibits European powers from colonizing or interfering with independent nations in the Western Hemisphere. It was announced by President James Monroe in his annual message to Congress on December 2nd, 1823. Key principles, largely drafted by the Secretary of State John Quincy Adams, the doctrine established two separate political spheres of influence, the Americas and Europe. The main tenets were: the American continents were no longer open to future European colonization. Any attempt by European powers to extend their political system to the Western Hemisphere would be considered a threat to U.S. peace and safety. The United States, in turn, would not interfere with the internal affairs, wars, or existing colonies of European nations. And this is important because that is expanded from Europe now to include the BRICS countries, which is Russia, India, Brazil, China, South Africa. So if you watch this platform, we've been tracking World War III for some time. I made a bold statement that World War III had already happened in both cold and hot forms. And this is an extension. So we want everyone to see what is happening on the chessboard right now. You know what I mean? This move here is America reasserting its power. They're losing in Ukraine. Things are happening in Israel. They never get to take down Iran. Certain things not going. So they're asserting that domination in the Western Hemisphere. And this is why I've been saying to I and I family in the Caribbean, we cannot be business as usual. As Rastafari Pan-African people, we really have to prepare ourselves for disruption. In the prophecy, we would have called it a rumors of war. Matthew 24, if a man want go in a book and suss it out, you know what I mean? Book of Matthew 24. If you burn the Bible, well, I hear thing that, you know what I mean? But for the biblical people, you would know that that was prophesied. Wars and rumors of wars, earthquake in diverse places, famine, pestilence, XYZ. We see it all. Bongo Jack, talk to us, please, and we'll come forward to the Eye for Curtis. Give thanks for that beautiful historical explanation. Build on what our two sisters have said, historically. What are the pieces? What are we witnessing? If you want to go to prophecy, you can go prophecy anywhere you want to take it.
Well, the fulfillment of all things, because as I say, until that day is war. But before, and I will just offer a little word of prayer. How good and how pleasant it is for our brethren and sisters to dwell together in love and fire harmony, like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down onto the beard, even the beard of the Most High. As the dew of Roman, just as the dew that descended from upon holy Mount Zion. For here it is, and there it is, that I am Almighty, and I mandate the blessings of love and life even now and forevermore. I Selassie, Empress Ferkete. Yes, sir. Well, Ras Tafari is people of the prophecy. So we always observe the word, and these things that we preach about from in the morning time. Now, America, which the Bible described as the beast who can make war with her, is in a state of turmoil, political, social, economical, and otherwise. And as the saying goes, a drowning man will snatch at a straw. So it's not just in iron waters that the beast is creating confusion and trying to deal with nations, sovereign nations, under fear, brute force, bullishness, and domination. That style of domination has come to its climax. So you find not like before, America got a lot of competitors who can produce what she can produce and even more. So she's in a desperate position. Now, as she's down here in our waters, what we are seeing is that if the CARICOM nations had stuck together rather than be supporters of her, they could be negotiators of peace. However, somehow or the other, when the CARICOM had sat, due to 1980 declaration, what the CARICOM had signed for Caribbean being a zone of peace, our government was the only government who did not stand up to that declaration. I don't know if it's because our leader is afraid, or if she was threatened, or if when she went to America they made her clone, or whatever. But her attitude is more or less one of fear and selfishness. Because one, Trinidad is just 7.5 miles away from Venezuela. If the enemy of Venezuela is using Trinidad and Tobago as a base to attack another nation, by all rights, this other nation must view them as an enemy, aiding and abetting with the next enemy. Now, although we seem to be siding with America, radars is being set up without dialogue, even in Tobago, where a party other than the ruling party now, the PNM, has won the election and is governing that country. Radar was set up in that country without any form of communication or dialogue. Also, it is said that it is established in this country too. Now, if we want to be a part of the war, the first thing our prime minister is supposed to do is to make sure that missile and rocket defense system should be established in strategic point in our country, because we are just a stone throw away from Venezuela. As a matter of fact, Trinidad was once part of Venezuela. But due to earthquake and water erosion, it broke off. The Venezuelan people that always say that Trinidad belongs to them. As a matter of fact, the indigenous people, land of creation, is in the San Fernando Hills in south of Trinidad, who are the Wahoos.
Okay.
So they always say here belongs to them, but their foundation here was taken away by the Roman Catholic Church and other colonial masters, and the burial ground, the ground of worship and praise, even the La Divina Pastora statue. Right now we have a lot of Venezuelans in this country, and we must be aware also that at the age of 18, every Venezuelan passes through the army. So what we fail to realize that every Venezuelan in this country is a trained soldier. So I don't think the war strategy is properly well set if our leader wants to take part in this war on the side of America. It could be very catastrophic for us and the whole Caribbean at large.
Yes.
The Caribbean do a lot of food importation. As a matter of fact, 80% of the food in Trinidad comes from abroad. See? And within the structure of our country, 80% of the food planted in this country is planted by the Indian people. So the black people is always at a great advantage because we consume the most and we produce the least. So if we look at food shortage here right now, Trinidadians never know the taste of hunger.
Hot.
It will be very devastating to us. Rastaman might be strong and me, or we just fast and move and pray and we might be able to go some days. But the average man who are accustomed eating 3 square meals a day plus things in between, if food shortage should arrive, would be in great disposition.
Serious.
See? Now, if America get control of the oil in Venezuela, it could help revive her falling economy.
It's a major
But
play.
how the problem?
It's a major play. It's a major play on the chessboard.
Yeah, because when you do the studies concerning drugs in America, statistics shows that only 5% of the drugs in America comes in by the sea. In other words, 95% comes in on land and air.
Yes.
So why should they be pretending to put out such great economical expenditure on the army to fight 5% of the so-called drugs that they say are killing their citizens? It is just a scheme that all blind man could see, but this is revelation. So the tactics of Europe, the colonial slave master, white supremacy, is being blatantly displayed in the eyes of the whole world so that we can finally judge and see who they are.
But Elder, this is the revelation time, you know, all the masks them have to come off. You know, that is what we have to overstand as a people.
Rastafari.
I'm
But
coming to,
Trinidad,
yeah, go ahead. Seal up and then I'm gonna go to Trini-Levi. We have to get
yeah,
everyone in. And
but
before you go, let me just announce that we have surpassed a record on the platform. Our former record was 101 people online at one time. We're up to 105. So please like and share and send it out to the four corners of the earth. This is serious reasoning, no playtime. And I give thanks because we're not here talking about bashment, carnival, spread out. We're not here chatting people's name. We are talking about our future. We're talking about unity. We're talking about solutions. So after we talk about this, it's not just going to be doom and gloom. We're going to be talking about how we can move forward with a strength, you know, and a oneness, and use this as a springboard to realize what we have been, you know, singing about, chanting about for so long, decades. So just give us a little ceiling sound, and then we're going to our elder Trini-Levi.
well, Rasta, in this time, war does bring food shortage. So I and I have to try to see how we could do more cultivation, and we have to pray to the Almighty, because we just prophesy the prophecies of doom and gloom, but prophesying it and experience it is two different chapters. So we have to be strong and put our faith in the Almighty. Haile Selassie, I am Christmas.
Haile Selassie the first. Trini-Levi, we're building on the reasoning, you know. The eye has seen many things. The eye has treaded to Africa back and forth for decades. What is the eye seeing right now? And give us the history as the eye see it.
Yes, greetings one and all. As a Rastafarian, trudging through this earth and being in Trinidad for so many years, you know, Rasta had to keep focus. Because when we watch all the things we're going on around us, it's a part of the prophecy that we have been preaching for many years. And we have to be mindful and try our best not to get caught up in the political mess that is going on here.
Yes.
Right? Right now, Rasta had to concentrate how we coming together and getting out of this place. Because the prophecy is that these isles in the sea somehow, whether it's by war, whether it's by famine, whether it's by what, it will have big destruction here. We know that is prophesied, and we have to lead this place. Rastas have to come together to fulfill the goal that Rasta have been set out for. Repatriation is a must.
Right.
We will get tied up and we will get caught up in this system, as His Majesty say, until the philosophy that holds one's race superior and another inferior, and until all is looked upon equally, we always war and rumors of war. We don't know that. Rasta don't know that. You understand? So we, Israel, prepare to meet God. And everybody else preparing for war. So let me let them prepare for what they're preparing for, and let we concentrate as Rastafarians to meet God. To bring we brothers and sisters who have like minds to fulfill that prophecy. Because we start to stray, you know. We start to thin out, like, I don't know if you know about when you're making juice. You're making lime juice.
Yes.
And you have one lime, but you want to put a bucket of water. So we lost in the taste at dealing with Rastafari, because I don't want to go the political way. Because if I go the political way, it will be deep. It will be deep, and I don't want to go that way. We're going as Rastafari, and what we had to do in this situation. You see, in this situation where Rastafari find itself in, if we was united a little more, a lot more, we would have done reach on the place where we want to go and set up the foundation where we want to set up. All the food problems where we foreseeing, we would have been working on that problem in our own land. where we would have been looking for land in Africa, or the land is there and we just have to go organize ourselves, get the land, start to plant up, make a way that Rastafari could see that you don't have to afraid to go Africa. Now a lot of people seeing it, a lot of Rastafarians get old and weary. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah,
and then
it's
it have
right.
people who on their own diverse situation. So, you know, I mean, everybody trying to establish their own righteousness and not the righteousness of God. Wars and rumors of war, it never change. His Majesty say it. The war will come. Whether if it's a war between brother and sister, whether it be a war between mother and father, whether it be war between Bingi and 12 tribe and Bobo, and it will always have them wars. And we who as Rasta had to come together and eliminate all them different things and try to build up we industry, build up ourselves economically and independently so we could teach we children that there is a place for us where we go be safe because we don't feel safe here. And we want to fool ourselves and feel we could solve this problem. This problem is now, this is now we war. This is now we fight. We fight is for freedom and liberation. Are we people get tied up in this situation here? Open your mouth and see if they can come by your door in the morning. Just like when you was, you know how Germany, how the system used to be? In America, they're showing you that system now. You talk too much or they find you as an immigrant, you're an illegal citizen, they just come and kick down your door and your neighbor had to inform on you and all the different ism and schism.
It's real,
just like the Nazi regime. You know what I mean?
Real. And I want to be clear because some people might think, oh, they Ras them afraid, but it's real. And when you have family as a man, you have responsibility. You can't afford to get tied up in certain things. That's why we don't focus on certain part of it because it really is real right now, and they will come for you.
It's not. That was never we focus neither. Yeah, that was never we focus. We focus. Repatriation is a must. Not that Rasta is Rasta and Rasta we talking about too. And Africans, Africa awaits its creators, those that are home and those that are abroad. That is we focus. And we can't lose the focus. We can't sideline and feel Babylon. You know, they will give you a little thing and they'll take we soul. What is profit a man if he gain the whole world? And we forget we goal. You know much man forget the goal? You know much people forget the goal because Babylon make it more comfortable for you, but you ain't realize down the line where they have planned for you. You systematic in slavery, you know, mental slavery, you know, to put we back in chains mentally, economically, because we have to depend on them. Even the very food, look at how they have it. Even the seeds for we to plant. It's a war. It's a war. For the seeds that we have to plant. Because just now they will tell you, if they come and catch you with them natural seeds, you could get locked up. You have to go with the seeds which they prepare for you. So we have to find the way out. We know this, you know, like how they say, the American land is for the Red Indian and this land is for that one. They will have a time where every fig will have to find what? The fig tree, every vine have to find where he come from. So what we waiting for? For when the war starts? We done wait too long already. I don't want to, you know, as I say, I just want to be humble. If I could encourage Rasta to come together, if we could come together to do something to help we to escape, because many more will suffer and many more will die.
Don't ask me
Don't
why.
ask me why. Right? So what we have to do as Rasta is see how we could get who want to come together to live and live. That's my work. My work is to help who want to live to live. I ain't too business with nothing else because it go happen one way or the other. I'm sorry to say, excuse me.
No. And I love it because the panelists each have their own perspective. We want to showcase the wide viewpoints. Also, we have our Pan-African representative, in Auntie Thea here as well to give a Pan-African perspective. So everyone have their own way that they look at this. The important thing again, family, is that preparation. We're not prepared. Hurricane Melissa hit Jamaica. The Rastafari community was not prepared. You know what I mean? We are scrambling and give thanks. There's a great unity forging in Jamaica now. Petty differences get kicked away, and the ones are coming together now to build forward a greater vision. And this is one of the reasons I wanted to have this panel, because I don't want what I see happen in Jamaica happen to Trinidad. We don't know how much time we have, but it has not happened yet, so we have time. People should be storing food. Where is the central meeting place if the bomb go off? Yeah, so where can, which land do we own that we can go and we can, do we have tents, different things? All of them things, these discussions need to be happening right now in Trinidad before things hit the fan, and then we're scrambling, because 7 nautical miles to I is like you can't swim that, you know what I mean? So that is not no far place when you talk about Venezuela and Trinidad. Empress Q, talk to I and I, Bill, yes, we're reasoning. So you know how this go.
Yes, I.
Share, how can you build on the history or prophecy, or any way you want to take it?
I mean, from what all the ones have said so far, I mean, that is the, so far that is the holistic overstanding. There is political things happening, but in a spiritual overstanding, the time is here, and it is for I to overstand it and become prepared. Be prepared spiritually, faithfully, sustainably, obviously, taking care of the temple. I mean, we haven't reached that part of the reasoning really, but as ones have said, how can we affect the change if it is prophecy that has to be fulfilled? So I and I have to be prepared, and I think that physical readiness is a big part of it, as Rastafari too. That is where the food will come in, of course, and even amongst the I here, we know we have enough community to start a project like that, and that's something that we have to work on in terms of storehouses. Where do we have our food? What is our cooperative in terms of ensuring that we at least we would have something for a while. And I know that is the eyes focus in terms of trying to get us prepared,
yes,
right, to be ready. I got to speak at the last call of peace, and it's so, we were talking before the show started, Ras, that it's so disheartening that everything is upside down. It feels as if everything we thought was right is now wrong, and everything that was wrong is now right. And as the sister said, Sister Ferkete, the propaganda of this time is so misleading, even though, as I said, Matthew 24, all those things were said to come. And but facing it and facing the people, I mean, especially amongst non-Rastafari. We use COVID as an example. I think that was a social experiment to see how do you play with people's psychology, using fear, using this idea of health and being kept safe, when the reality, the illusion, and the illusion and the reality of the illusion was the vaccine did not keep you safe, and you still were susceptible to getting COVID and transferring it. So Rastafari saw through that illusion, and that was a test, because it did not reach, thankfully, even though many of us who went out and protest were aware that some of the rumors at that time was that non-vaccinated could have been barred from grocery stores, could have been barred from receiving government documents. If you and still to today, I was recently told by someone that if you are applying to be in the medical profession, you are supposed to have your vax card here in Trinidad. So that propaganda and that what do we want to say, the ideology, the ideology or the agenda persists in that all of it is artificially being created to rock Rastafari, to rock Jah people from a foundation of um, firstly self-confidence, knowing that the eye is capable, to make it through whatever is to come. But then identity and finding ones and ones who have the same like mind and coming together to form some kind of preparedness as well. So the time is now, and I give thanks that I said that before as well, before the show started. We have some great leaders here of Rastafari mansions who would rally the call, and I think that this is the start of, this is the announcement that
Yes.
that the call has started.
Yes, and I pray, as we say, that the item identify some safe spaces, some places where you can store. There's a big rodent problem in Jamaica that they're having now with rats and storage.
Leptospirosis, yes.
Yeah, the leptospirosis. So the item, you can learn from your brothers and sisters in Jamaica, wherever you're storing your grains and thing, make sure it's sealed from rodents and thing. But it's very wise in the next week or so, because it's, the indication is that it might happen this strong, to how it's looking. So even tomorrow, the item should start to have a plan collectively to put food, because once the people them do, they're gonna run to the store, the shelves empty. Some people who have money buy, you have friend, you get it, you don't have the link, you don't get, So
yeah,
if we can have a store now where the community can access that food. And then the other challenge in Jamaica is that, yes, they're bringing in a lot of food, but they're bringing in things like pork. They're bringing in things like GMO food, where people don't know, what is this food going to do if I eat this government food that is not ideal. We have a certain liberty and a certain standard that we eat. We like heirloom, non-GMO. They're just giving food that fill your belly, and we don't know what is in it. What is in these packages that they're handing out. We have cases in Israel where people were sterilized against their knowledge. Black people. That's documented history, so we're not spreading no lies about anybody. So people are skeptical. So I say all of that to say that the best preparation is for us to have our own preparation, and not depend on the government assistance, which can be slow to mobilize. So we really need to think, and I give thanks. We have three elders of the major mansions here on the platform. Trinidad, as I say, quietly, the item have done great things with Empress Men and Rising, with the All Mansion, Trinidad All Mansion, coming together before this crisis has happened. So I think the framework is there in Trinidad to start to respond and be proactive. All right, so I'm going to we're going to introduce Priest Isley. Do you have any price points or echo?
Blessed my Lord.
If you have YouTube on, turn it off and just use the phone, because I'm hearing an echo.
No, I not have YouTube on. I believe when I have my thing hook up on a speaker, because my phone acting up.
Oh, okay.
Is it that bad?
We're hearing the echo. But okay, no, I don't. Okay, yes, I hear it. All right.
Yeah.
Just introduce yourself, please. You're no stranger to this platform. We did a exclusive interview with the Royal Priest, one of my classic episodes on the platform. I got a lot of good feed forward. It was very emotional and powerful. But just for those who are not familiar with the eye, please introduce yourself and then build on the reasoning, the history, and where we are with this.
Well, my name is Honorable Priest Imsley of Zion. of the Bobo Shanti or the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress. I was one of the pioneers in Trinidad, or the pioneer in Trinidad, what brought the culture to Trinidad, So he used me as a messenger to bring the message of great tidings of great joy. Listening to the reasoning, from the prophecy say, Gentiles prepare for war, Israelites prepare to meet your God. So, just what does that mean? Well, we know, say, a false perception is greater than reality. So, we have to see the reality of what really is going on. Personally, I think it's a war of words. Because it not just rests on, to say, America, Venezuela, Trinidad. We see COVID prove that it's a small world. And if you listen to the international news that is going on, and we must be politically correct in our reasonings too, because we don't want nobody come and, But if you look at the international news and the scope of the world right now, all those attacks with the boats in the waters there is being deemed illegal. Especially the last set of news were coming out, we say after them bomb a boat, 2 people did survive the blast and was hanging on to parts of the parts of the boat floating, and they send out a next one and say kill them all. Heck, setting big, like a big thing going on right now in the government of the US right now. Heck, said pass it off to the colonel, and nobody want to say who gave the orders, because they're saying that is a war crime. So it's bigger than just we and them. This is an international thing. It come like a Mexican standoff. I'm telling you, let me go. You want to fight it, but you want to hold him back. Let me go, but you don't really want to let him go, Kind of want to fight a judgment. And this is what I see is going on. In the meantime, what me start with? Gentiles prepare for war. Israelites prepare to meet your God. This is not no God coming down from no sky. This is I and I. You see what you speak about, that framework that we have, the old mansion of Ras Tafari, that enough man look upon slightly and then realize and say, collectively, we can do great things. We have 4 expressions of Ras Tafari. We have the 12th tribe of Israel, we have the Nyabingi, Orthodox Star Point, and the Bobo Shanti. They are 4 expressions of His Imperial Majesty. African unity. Or give thanks for the remembrance, Honorable my Lord. Yeah. So these are 5 expressions of His Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie. So we can't look lean upon one another. So up to tonight, I was in our executive reasoning and we reason of the state of Ras Tafari. It's a lot of myths is mixed up in our culture. A lot of folklore is mixed up in our culture. So we are at the point where we are addressing all these things. So the time is now. All what we talk about from before, black man not get to know himself until him back against the wall. And fittest are the fittest are going to survive. All these sayings, it's a reality now. And the solution to all these sayings, every time you hear we say, unity is strength. So we have the foundation is built, as you say, we have the framework in Trinidad. It is not an easy work. It is not a popular work. It's not popular. if you want to be popular in the wrong space. So it's not even a coincidence that we are together. It's by design. Because in the whole mix, the Almighty God rule and reign all hearts and flesh. So we not get frightened. We are confident in the victory of good over evil. Practically now, yes, let us use the time to strengthen our ties. Honorable priest, Honorable Levi, as he tell, we say always knowing from over 30 years now, always on the same meditation. Africa, we can't fight that. But we know it's not everyone, we see the struggle, it's not everyone can pay a fare. So we still have to be always agitating for repatriation and reparation. And we see it going on now when you look at the table. You're not even seeing the Ras Tafari. But here I want just tell me Sunday, this ancient proverb. If you're not if they don't have no seat for you at the table, walk with a folding chair. Rastafari can't get me out of the race.
Yes.
So we have to just use these.
The other thing, just stick a pin. The other thing, unfortunately, it says if you're not at the table, then you might be on the menu. So that is another saying that we have to remember as well. But continue.
My Lord. Yes, my Lord and Empress. So this is what I see. Unity. It is imperative that we, do what best we can with what we have. We're making some baby steps. We have barely been surviving and struggling along the years, but we have there. We're still here. So we're still making a difference. We had a reason on Sunday. I wasn't able to attend. So we're still making strides. And with all that, the man who on we side never lose a battle yet. Right. So we always had to have that sight and say, if God is for you, who can be against you? But sometimes it looks bleak. Sometimes it looks very bleak. Very, very bleak. But we have to just be confident in that. Good over evil, right over wrong, R over X. My Lord.
And we have to guard against blind faith, because I heard a story about a Ras in Jamaica. He had built his house in a dry riverbed before the hurricane. And the community came to him, once came to him and told him he needed to move because this used to be a river. And him said, no, I've been here so many years and storm come and nothing, what I mean? We always been irie. And him said, Jah will protect I, and fullness. And what the elder told me this story. When Hurricane Melissa came, not only did it take away the brethren house, but it took away the brethren life. The brethren has not been seen, so he stayed in his house. And, river that had not been active, in how many maybe decades or maybe even centuries.
But when say, say, Jah will protect me, not true?
Yes, I.
And Jah come to him with the word. Jah come and tell him, my Lord, this is a thing riverbed. Move out of it. So we're looking out of ourselves to see Jah. And Jah does come to we. We have to see the God in ourselves so that we can see him in each and every one, my Lord. He walks with us every day.
You touch it, my elder. I couldn't say it any better. And so when you see this, my Trinidad family, and you see this message here, this is the Almighty coming to the global
Ras Tafari,
telling us preparation.
Yes,
Buy if you have canned goods, dry goods, make we start store them, make we start put them aside.
Rastafari.
Water, make we start buy water, drums of water, storage, make we have that. These are the things that are lacking in Jamaica right now. May I tell them the truth. It's serious. And we're my Jamaica family in the chat. Let them know what's happening in Jamaica. We're gonna go to some comments and then we're gonna go to solution reasoning, because we don't want this to be doom and gloom. We want to also
True.
come up solution, you know what I mean, in terms of what
True.
we can do. And all of our panelists are brilliant and have their own vision. So let's look at some comments. We have Ras Roots, one of our Lion Pride on Patreon. It's a blessed love, Lion Pride, high frequency vibrations from Murray, Kentucky. Kentucky checking in, give thanks. Empress Sharon, representing Empress Men and Rising from Trinidad and Tobago. She helped I to arrange this panel, so big up yourself, Empress Sharon. We have Bongo Wisely. You know, he's one of our beloved Asians, former chair of the CRO. Blessed love, Bongo Wisely. Grand Rising family, love and light. From Ayanola in the house. Big up all my St. Lucia family. Akashak Records, reggae. Big up one of our Lion Pride on Patreon representing California and Atlanta region. Big up yourself, Akashik. Good to see the eye. We have here Walete Medin Royal Daughter. Empress Marsha here from Empress Men and Rising out of Trinidad. I have to interview the eye to Empress Marsha, so big up yourself. Trinidad is in the house heavy tonight. We give thanks, you know what I mean, for the coming in. Mash up the like, share, support this amazing community. Big up. My people, them now gonna leave me out, so we give thanks for that. Is that Empress Dion? Empress Dion sending love to my Lion Pride family, representing Empress Men and Rising. The collective is here. Big up yourself, Empress Dion. This is Denisha. Greetings and blessing love. St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands, tuning in. Big up USVI. And Denisha, I spoke to Ras Sekou. She won our impromptu contest. He will be shipping you out a book, so keep us posted on that. The screen is blank, not seeing the host. Check it. Okay, well, I think we sealed that up. Long Island, New York, checking in. DNA, big up yourself. Empress Dion from Trinidad, checking in. Big up yourself. Love and Life family, tapping in from Zambia. This is why me tell the item say we're international. What time is it in Zambia, Ras Kadamawe? Make we know, because we know it's way up in the hours in Zambia. Zambia Lion Pride, big up yourself on the check-in. Try leaving and reconnecting. Okay, you see it. Baba Ras D, one of our legends from the DMV. Big up yourself, Ras D. We're going to have Ras D on this platform very soon as well. One of our legendary educators here in Washington, D.C., born and raised. Big up yourself, Ras D. Harambe lives. Yes, I. Ras, okay, we have Bongo Wisely again. Okay. Bongo Greece. Rastafari family, Trinidad is in the house. Big up our elder. These are legendary elders tuning in on the Lion Voice. Ras Roots is coming in with a $10 contribution. There is a $sign above the comment section. We do accept super chats. If you value Rastafari independent, non-aligned media, we have to fund it. $5, $10, whatever you can give, we do give thanks. Big up yourself, Ras Roots, for the $10 contribution. We do very much appreciate love it. You know what I mean? We're gonna read a couple more and then we're gonna go into the solutions. Mr. Who's that? IRS. Greetings, my lords and empresses. Blessed love, Rastafari. All Isis be unto the Most High, Haile Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, Holy Emmanuel, Jah, Rastafari. Give thanks, Rastafari. Big up yourself. All I Bobo Shanti family. Big up one of our Lion Pride on Patreon, Mama Walete, Empress Dina Marie, the chair of the anniversary development of Rastafari, one of our closest sisters too. She said, and she's from Trinidad too. Majestic and glorious Rastafari, greetings to the brilliant cadre representing Trinidad and Tobago. And someone else agree, pardon, who's this? Got a with G Jammy. My eyes are a little blurry, sorry. Royalty. I can read, I promise I can read. I promise. But me just the eyes, the vision. El Paso, Texas, Juarez, Mexico, tuning in to the vibes. Our elder Johnny Johnson. Big up yourself, Johnny Johnson. Yes, peace and love. We have so many comments. Again, we have hit a record for the Lion Voice Live platform, over 100. I think we had up to 130 at one point. We're at 114 live. Let us know where you are watching from in the chat. We're going to go forward again to solutions. So I'm going to go to the Auntie Thea to start us off from a Pan-African perspective. You know, Rastafari, we like use the prophecy. Some of us, you know what I mean, use other means. But from a Pan-African, strictly Pan-African, because it's not just Rastafari people that will be impacted. It's going to be the whole Trinidad, all the black people, people of Indian descent, everybody in Trinidad will be impacted. From your perspective, what would you like to see as an elder being done in terms of solutions? What are some practical things that people can do to prepare? And I know you have you were telling me about a major event. So if you want to share with us the next steps and just moving forward.
I will read it out. Identify a safe shelter, a haven in the chaos. Create an emergency kit, which is your lifeline. Develop a family emergency plan. Stockpile supplies. Be ready for long-term survival. Learn basic first aid, which could save lives. Secure communication, stay connected. Protect your finances, money in chaos. Stay physically fit, build strength. Learn survival skills, adaptability is key. And that's the list that I had compiled in terms of people overcoming what is impending, what may come to us. Preparedness is key. We have to be prepared. Preparedness is key. So that if we are not prepared, we will be caught with our pants down. We don't want that to happen.
No.
So,
what is the feeling on the ground? What are the feelings on the ground outside of the Rastafari community? You're moving around in your circles. What are the feelings on the ground with the people that you connect with?
Well, people are concerned because they are not being told what is happening. They're not being told the truth. Many people think that they're being lied to, and they resent that. I'm not seeing a lot of people thinking in terms of preparing. I don't know, people seem to think that, well, you know, this will not happen. You know? So, that is my main concern. But I'm seeing that there isn't a sense of urgency. I'm seeing that there isn't a sense of people needing to put in preparation, and that's what I'm seeing on the ground. Okay. There hasn't been a lot of concern, and this thing is very concerning. I know also that the people are afraid.
Yes.
People are afraid. There are people who are very afraid because the fact that we are in the dark in terms of being told what exactly is going on, what kind of negotiations have taken place between America and Trinidad and Tobago, so that there's that fair. And but
Empress,
I would have
yeah,
liked to see a lot more preparedness, a
I think.
lot more preparedness.
Go ahead, Empress Q.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to Empress Thea's also unprecedented times. The
Yeah.
Trinbagonian people have, within how many generations, at least two generations, have not known war or conflict. Um, everything that we have experienced has only lasted maybe a few weeks, if so much, and
Mm-hmm.
even to myself, when I think about preparedness, one of the things, as I said, about storage, we got a first word that military officials were called in over weekend to come in, one's rushed to the mega marts to stock up, and I myself was like, okay, what do you buy? I bought some macaroni, some rice, and some tin goods. But then you say, how long will this last? I mean, how much do you need to buy to last a month? You know, so even that practicality, I don't know if the elders within, hearing the reasoning would say, or if they would, as we reason, add to that, what is the eyes thought on what is preparedness? I know that we have one of the things that we would say strongly is that the 12 tribes of Israel has a strong HQ in Diego Martin, where they have their own compound, and that is one place that can be secured to a point. um because again, Rasquasi, I mean, when you think about the whole scenario, somebody on TikTok made a joke about this whole military instigation. And the joke was about telling the Trini bad men who have the guns and stuff in the where in our urban areas, like, now is all your time. We hope all you're ready to defend it. And
Mm-hmm.
that is something I think about in terms of when survival kicks in, when we talk about not having and the haves and the have nots, how will that conflict internally also be expressed, right? And that
I,
is
I can
why.
I can tell you from Jamaica, the bad man have turned on the people and they're robbing supplies. They're going in on people. There's
Mm.
assaults
Ah,
happening
that's
on
the
women and
thing, yeah.
children. So it's not a
You
pretty
see,
picture. Yeah, it's not a
so we have to talk about Africa. We have to figure out. Here, what I think is also interesting, because we know from the history, the Honorable Marcus Garvey organized the Black Star Liner, and that was the intention. Now, more than any other time, I think the resources that the community has, when we think about passing through Brazil to reach to Africa, is right there. And if they could have had a flotilla with 300 activists trying to make their way to Israel, definitely, I think from at least Brazil, we should be trying to head on our way to Africa, you know, um, and just
It's
make it
easier said than
practical.
done.
I mean, and within the Orthodox faith in Trinbago, we have great stories of elders like Abraham Springer, Cass Abraham Springer, who in his youth days at 20 something years old jumped on a ship and reached Africa and got an audience with His Majesty. And that was the kind of the instigation how the Orthodox Church came to the Caribbean. So we know ones have done these things. And what I'm saying is that, you know, I for myself, brethren, I wouldn't, fib to say we're waiting to see a smoking gun to know shots have been fired. You know what I mean? It's
Oh
everyone
my.
is we don't know. We are not aware. But as we say, if we have some idea, that it is preparation. So again, I hope that the elders can give us practical um, ideas, and let us rally the community. Rastafari, Empress Men and Rising is having a gathering this Sunday as well. It's our fourth quarter eye liberation. So I know Empress Ferkete and I are going to also go and relate this to the women of Rastafari to start to rally them, you know?
Serious thing.
One thing go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, one thing I would like to, I always advocate is pooling resources.
Yes.
You see, buying wholesale in
Yes.
bulk, then it can be shared so that it is empowering ourselves with supplies by pooling our resources and, acquiring supplies on a wholesale basis, which will be much cheaper if you look at the wholesale prices of the thing. Because you're buying now at the cost at which the supplier who would tell you with price, you're buying at the price that they would be buying at. So that the wholesale buying in bulk, pooling resources, pooling your money, and purchasing in bulk. And I think that is one of the ways that we can feed ourselves.
Give thanks. Give thanks. Trini-Levi, your name was called in terms of the 12 tribe compound. Is there storage facilities that could be used there to store resources?
We have a lot of room here to do a lot of things. But unity is the ultimate goal, right?
Yes.
If we don't come together, you can't store nothing.
That's a
right?
fact.
We had to come together and put the resources together before we could study to store. When we come together, then we could know what we need, what we want. But this situation is so grim all over the world. I mean, when you hear it have a storm or bad weather, we're not even going to talk about war. They always tell the people, prepare for the worst. Put your documents in plastic bag, do this and store up on drinking water, store up. And you just hear X amount of people lost the job. People have no money to buy nothing. How the poor people, the average poor man on the street going and stock up anything to serve himself, to serve his family. We who would try to do our best to facilitate brethren and sistren and even our community at large, we would try our best. But at the average, you're telling you, store up this, buy food, pour water, do this, buy canned food. A man can himself go in the grocery. Some people might be able to go. Yes. But when you check the whole situation, the massive. Yeah, so that will always bring chaos. Because, the man, them who have it, they're coming for you if they know you have it. True. I wonder if you understand what I'm saying. The man and them will have certain things. And you working hard to gather your store and put your storage and all kind of thing. And man just waiting to hear, all right, you see, them have it, And right now, when you have to get some food, your best friend could be your worst enemy. So if we as Rasta don't come together and create sustainable ways of sustainable security for ourselves and certain things, all we efforts is going to be at loss, because united we stand and divided we fall. If we had to store things, we must be secure. It's time we put away all the petty differences and know we had to come to the table as Rasta and forge that unity that we're speaking about for so many years. To whom much is given, much is required of, and the Lord has richly blessed us that we could be able to do certain things for ourselves and for we members, and by extension Rastafari, because we always offer our premises for Rastafari, not just 12 tribe. Anybody could tell you that the 12 tribe of Israel always say, if Rasta want to raise funds, if Rasta want to do something, this is Rasta place. 12 tribe of Israel compound is for Rasta. Anything all you want to do, just come and we synchronize with one another and we do something, because we can't do it separate. You hear, I hear. And in this time of crisis, unity is even more necessary. And we don't want to wait till it is a crisis to make that unity necessary, let we do it one time because we don't know what tomorrow will bring. But put God first. Because even when you don't have no food, God will sustain you,
Yes,
and a man who have a big set of food on the bomb shelter and all kind of thing. And they go dead same way because they're wicked in the heart and they don't have nobody else in heart to support. You know what I mean? It's just me, myself, and I. I'm a family. Sometimes people that run away the family and all when they come to the thing. Me, I do want to see all here, I just want to know that I can survive. So my loudest cry, and it's not Noah crying, that cry, my loudest cry is for the community of Ras Tafari to come together, unity in the community. Because once we come together and we unite, we could help. Because you have to help yourself before you can help others. If you're traveling on a plane, what did I just tell you? Put on your mask, secure yourself, and then you can help somebody else. So we as a community have to learn how to do these things, come together and secure ourselves so we can help others.
Serious.
It's a simple story.
How
Protect
big is
yourself.
the compound? How big is the compound? Is it an acre?
It mightn't be an acre, but it could be bigger than an acre with your mind. We have room. We have room to store. We have room. We preparing ourselves for more because we could always do better. With the little help we have, as we just try for ourselves, the noise, it come like you have a little mole, and when people done with it, you feel that whole mole is a mountain.
Yes.
You have a penny, and when a man, boy, them fellas are them rich, boy.
Yeah.
And because of your good heart and your giving spirit, everybody go shower you with that blessings. But it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have everything, You have to have that love, willing to share, and everybody will see your good work and glorify the Father. And that is what we just be praying for, because we know some of we ain't gonna make it, But if you can't make it, still try and help our brother to make it now. That is we cry. If you can't make it, help someone to make it. So once we could, if you don't have food and you could say, boy, I could still help our brother to help our next brother with a plate of food, do that. Because you might die. For instance, a man on his dying bed and when he say, bury me with all my clothes, bury everything, because he's so selfish. He don't want to give nobody nothing. But a man might be on his dying bed and he say, something, I want all my thing to go to the Ras Tafari. How much man go say that? The people and them who dealing with other denomination, they say, you see anything happen to me? I want all my possessions to go to the church. How much Rasta man saying that? If anything happened to them, let me divide certain things for the Rastafari community. You know what I mean? So we have to always be trying, it's an uphill battle fighting to bring Rasta people together. The old mansion of Rastafari trying the best, but it's not an easy fight when everybody want to be the leaders in the eyes of the rising sun. It's time we put away with differences and come together, because we could feed ourselves, we could clothe ourselves, we could shelter ourselves in unity. United we stand, divided before. You ain't gonna hear nothing else from me but that. The war will come, and if you can't hold your brethren or hide your brethren or protect your brethren in that unity, everybody go there. And you must try and save some seeds. Not only plant seeds, the human seeds now. You must try to save some human seeds so we could plant in another place. Some of we have to make it, and some of we go die. Don't fool yourself and feel everybody go make it. Some people, I write it, Marcus Garvey say, not every black man should return to Africa, because some of them go do the same thing what they're doing here, which is nothing. So we who interested in doing something, we should gather ourselves in the unity. Some said, Jaja send them one by one, Jaja send them 2 by 2, 10 by 10. And when the big part come, you know what I mean? If it's reparations and wherever it is come, we have a line already where we pull in. You understand? I think we must have 100 and something Trinidadians in Ethiopia right now. And it's not an easy fight for we to have them there. Some brethren might be sick, they want help. It has sisters who need help, But at the end of the day, we had the faith that we could make it if it's 1 by 1, 2 by 2. And when the big massive come, we did. And one thing I want to say again, the line is opening up to Africa on the 21st of December. The flights starting, but we don't know what will happen between now and then. But we still preparing ourselves to leave. Escape is the main plan, but unity is the ultimate goal. Ras Tafari.
I love how you put that. And one of the recommendations coming out of Jamaica, I've been working very closely with the Ras Tafari Mansion and organization. And one of the challenges right now is the mapping, getting a list of all of the people, where they live, what their needs are, because we have been living in this kind of mystic kind of vibration where nobody want to share where they are. So now when the crisis come, we don't know where, how to find some of the Asians. We don't know, who has damage to what, you're hearing bits and pieces. So one of the things that the RMO is doing, I know the Naya Bingi House is also doing this, is sending people out to actually catalog the information about the people. So that's one thing I would say in Trinidad. The people who are like-minded, the members of the All Mansion, start to get a list. Where do they live? How many family members? Just basic information as an All Mansion about the members, because when the crisis happens, it's very hard to start there. We're in a rough situation in Jamaica because of that. And it's only now too that many people are seeing the need to give their information, because a lot of people looking for loved ones can't find their loved ones, and these things are happening. Even so much weeks after the storm, some parts of Jamaica still have no power, no light. It really is like a war zone there. So there are a lot of lessons from Jamaica that can be shared with our Trinidad Ras Tafari. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say one thing again. Just like when my brethren Imsley say, the words of Marcus Garvey, black man would never know themselves until they're back against the wall. Remember, we got a lesson from the Bible with Noah, and he was given the warning, and nobody didn't want to hear. Marcus Garvey come and tell me to, black man, you go never know yourself until you're back against the wall. Look what we're waiting for. Look how long Rastafari call you. So long Rastafari call you. And we begging for unity. I was in the meeting Sunday, right? And the cry is, yeah, boy, let the old mansion come back, let brethren and sisters come back. But you have to take it serious, because anybody who wants to say, to do that statistics to find out about people and how much people we have and how much people in certain areas, you have to take your job serious. Rastafari work is a everlasting work. You have to take this work serious. When you say I go do something, you can't put your hand to the wheel and pull it back. You have to push on with it. It's a living sacrifice. It's over 40, it's going 48 years now. I doing this thing, gathering people and sending people to Africa, And every one of the brethren and sisters, they know me and they know I ain't not playing with this thing. I mean, I make my life as a living sacrifice for Rastafari. If I hear in Trinidad, Grenada, St. Vincent, Barbados, Ethiopia, anywhere I go is a sacrifice to Rasta. And the cry is for unity all over Jamaica, everywhere. If we don't unite, if one of we suffer, all of we suffer. So we have to try to bring it together. Everybody right now better take it serious in the mind and don't wait for the worst to happen. Whether it's storm, lightning, earthquake, war. Let we take it serious now and, go down on our knees and pray unto God and ask for forgiveness for we lack of sight in coming together. We lacking that bad. And we need to fulfill that creed. For the blessings that the hungry be fed, the naked be clothed, sick, nourished, aged, protected, and infants cared for. So let me do it now.
I'm telling you.
Rastafari.
I want to address this comment here. I think this person is new to the platform, and I don't want to pick on my sister here, but I want just to set her straight, because she's saying here that Africans don't even want to see you in their country. I'm just coming forward from Ghana myself. I have landed in Ghana. I've been going to Ghana since 2005. Consistently, we built a 5-acre campus, one of the organizations that I work on the board of. We're doing a series right now called The Road to Heaven on Earth. On the platform, we released 2 episodes you can see on this very platform, The Road to Heaven on Earth. And I want to dispel this propaganda. Are there Africans that don't want to see people from the diaspora? Of course. Are there people in the diaspora that don't like Africans? Of course. But the vast majority, that is not the case. You know what I mean? There is overwhelming love. From I went in 2005, the love I felt for Rastafari in Ghana is immeasurable. You know what I mean? From soldier to police, I was taken aback by the type of love that I experienced as a Ras moving through. And this is 2005, may I tell you about, much less 2025, when, you know, we come and we are go through the place like a dignitary. Them a treat me like a dignitary. And you look on the chocho and you see the Lion of Judah flag, you seeing His Majesty and all the minibus them. That is what's happening in Ghana right now. So when you tell I that Africans, I probably know that you've never stepped foot on the continent, you know, and you probably get your information from the internet. You read the comment section and you feel like that I go on for true. You know what I mean? And I'm here to tell you, as someone who travels, and then Trini-Levi is going to tell you as well. That's nonsense. Go ahead, Trini-Levi.
And even right in your very own country, if it's Trinidad, if it's Jamaica, Grenada, St. Vincent, Barbados, Antigua, St. Lucia, any one of them country, even some of the people right here in our country don't like us.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
So, you know, so anywhere you go, it will have people who like you and don't like you, but the majority of people love Rastafari.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I mean? And it's some of the people need to be educated to know that their brothers and sisters, like the prodigal son, was taken away and we are returning. So when they get the full understanding, is like, if you don't have the education to understand certain things, you will be ignorant of the fact and you will feel like somebody coming to take your thing. Them coming to take your thing. But when you understand this is your family, we're coming, you want to put out the biggest basket and give them the finest of everything, because you know it's your brothers and sisters returning. Look, we right here in the Caribbean. Some of we don't even know. Some of we brothers and sisters in Jamaica is one blood, because they separate we so much. We same father, they take the children and they put them in Jamaica, they put some in Barbados, they put certain place. Sometimes you might end up with your sister or your brother or your cousin or your niece, because you're ignorant of the fact that your family was scattered. And it's the same thing in Africa. You know, even in Ethiopia, some people will say none of the Ethiopian was never brought in slavery. But when you check the history, that Ethiopia was the country that was doing all the trade throughout the whole Arabian settlement, all to India and all these different places. Ethiopia was doing trade in all these places and all through Africa and things. So you could tell me if the past, you mean they ain't go pick up one of themselves? So everybody get touched. And everybody would like to return home. So let me do that. Let me do our best and educate one another. Each one teach one. That is all we could do. And Rasta, open up your eyes. Now look at everybody want to be. If you don't grow a dread, you a want to be Rasta. You buy a dread. You understand? And everybody want to look like Rasta, and the making style and the shaking the long bongo on Rasta and all kind of thing. I know that is we power to know that. Look at long time they used to curse we and say you dirty head Rasta and this, that, and the other. Now they're looking at we for redemption. They want to be saved. They feel like Rasta had the power. The Rasta has something about them. Them and all, and even know what they're doing, you know, is we who have to educate them. And the more we come together, and show the light, is the more we advance. So we need to really come together as one. Put away all differences. In all mansion, we say the things we can agree on, we put it aside, and the things we could agree on, let we work on that for a better unity in the community. Rastafari.
Let me talk to the youngest member of the panel, Empress Ferkete. If Trinidad don't have no carnival, what's gonna happen in Trinidad if carnival mash up?
Well, Carnival has a lot of stakeholders, a lot of people invest in Carnival way before the season.
Okay.
So that wouldn't be good for for our economy, for our citizens. People already paid towards their costumes. That might be a riot.
But would that wake up the people if carnival is cancelled?
If it is cancelled in light of something happening,
Yes.
I think people will take it more serious and try to be more informed about what is happening. Right now, everybody's going about everything like normal, preparing for Christmas, preparing for Carnival. People don't have a care in the world. They're misinformed and they're happy about it, or they don't even want to be informed about it. They're not using their resources wisely, right? So they're not securing their finances either. They're spending, they're consuming, they're hoarding, and they're not thinking about the future, or they're not preparing for something happening. So as Sister Tia said, you have to have a survival kit, a survival plan. You need to be planting. If you're not planting, saving seeds or have a little garden in your yard or something. You need to link with brethren, sisters who into planting and who have skills in areas you're not skilled in, right? So that is the mindset we need to be on. But the mindset of the youth, especially in Trinidad, and the normal person, it's not on that. It's everything is what party, what boat ride, what event to go to next. And nobody thinks about anything political, anything social, or anything involving geopolitics. So they're unaware. Hopefully, as the Rastafari community usually does, we could raise awareness and continue to raise awareness, right? Everywhere we go, we try to reason in every space that we are in work, home, school, everywhere, just raise awareness about what's happening. I know sometimes it can be redundant, and people could be like, oh gosh, this crazy Rasta woman or this crazy Rasta man. Nobody not listening, but that is the mission, to educate the masses, let them be aware, talk, speak, be political. And we grew up thinking like, we're not supposed to talk about religion or politics ever, but now is the time to wake up the masses. You could even use the Bible as well, and explain things in that context where you're making them aware of the prophecies that is unfolding, right? And use it as a vessel to make people aware of what is happening, right? And once we raise awareness and we continue to fight against this Babylonian system and continue to be a voice for change, I think people will, wake up, or it will reach one person, and it always have youth so interested and willing to learn. I mean, I was a youth who probably was, you could describe as misguided, right? And I was willing, right? So from somebody else who was preaching, right? So once we continue to preach, somebody will take up the word and try to make a change within themselves and within the choices that they make, and prepare themselves mentally and prepare their resources to get ready for whatever is happening, right? Plant a seed in your mind and keep a seed as well to plant for the future.
The other thing I'll recommend is we've been getting Starlink systems. I know we don't too love Elon Musk. We know who he is and what he represents, but in terms of the technology, I would also recommend that the item get access to Starlink system, because one of the things that Jamaica experienced was complete shutdown of the grid. meaning no Wi-Fi, no, so ones have the Starlink, which they plug into solar generators, and that has been a real savior. So if the item can buy these things right now and have them put on, I think that's important that all of the different houses and mansions get a Starlink system, a solar generator, because remember, if Venezuela bombed the grid and the electricity go down, you know what I mean? Everything, we're not, as a modern people, we're not used to life without electricity for extended period, you know what I mean? We don't remember, in rural parts of the country, they know that life there's a little bit more, and give thanks. I and I who travel to Africa, we know bucket bath and them thing there and how that go. But a lot of people are not prepared for electricity being down for an extended period. But we can mitigate that by, again, the Starlink system. Until we build our own satellite and launch it, we have to be practical and use what's there. So Starlink system with the solar generators, or generators in general, kerosene generators, these are things that need to be purchased and put to one side, because power, even charging station, for do something like charge your phone so you can call your loved ones, and these things is so important. These are the things that we are learning from the Jamaica experience, you know what I mean? So I recommend. I'm going to give everyone a chance to say a final word. We're at the 2.5 hour mark. The time is flying, and I want to be respectful of our guest time, because I don't want them ignore my call when we call them again and say, boy, the man show too long and he have me up late and me have to go work a morning. I want to be respectful of the people them time, you know what I mean? And it's later in Trinidad. It's 11:25 in Trinidad, going on to midnight right now. So that shows you the passion of this panel. So I'm going to give everyone a chance to say their sealing sound. Again, this is a record for this platform live. We have 122 people still online. Put in the comment where you're watching from. This is a unity. We're building a movement here. If you're not subscribed to the platform, subscribe to the platform. Join the 57,000 fire angels who have already found out that this is where we are having the reasoning. You know what I mean? This is where we are coming together globally to unite, to make that great push for the great repatriation. This is where the building of Zion reasonings are happening. The building of heaven on earth is happening right here on the Lion Voice Network in real time. We are doing the work. We're rising up Ras Tafari, independent, non-aligned media, but we need support from the global family. Become a monthly subscriber. Your $5, your $10. That is how we stay independent, and that is how we can continue to bring high-level Rastafari, Pan-African content to the masses. No one is coming to save us. I hope that is clear to everyone by this time. I'm going to the Honorable Priest Imsley, and I'm gonna and we're gonna start with the eye, and then we're gonna make the eye seal us with a prayer. Honorable Priest Imsley, are you there? I want your final word down, and then before we sign off, we're gonna have the eye seal us off with the eyes. But give us your final sound in terms of
My lord.
click. Yes, sir.
Rastafari. We all remember Joseph's interpretation of Pharaoh dream with the 7 lean cow and the 7 fat cow. So, reiterate Honorable Trini, as he say, come together. That's our goal, our ultimate goal. And, the concept that we understand Rastafari as to say he dwells in us all, even all them and those who are listening outside, we are one. These things is not coincidence. It is just bringing us together. Let us trust our thoughts and our meditation, and the forge a link. It's a beginning. Now, the world is being run by stupidity, so you can't argue with stupidity and win. So this is not the time for bantering over ideologies and all these things. Like-minded people come together and work, One of the meditation in the earlies in Ras Tafari, we always agitate to the government, through the United Nations. We're not giving up that. But Joshua, we say no, it's a thing where we see we have links where enough man is going over. As you say, open link is rising up in Trinidad, direct flight. So we say people to people. I mean to say when you reach over yonder, yes, set yourself in a way where it is a benefit to the people who you're going to meet. We're not going there to convert nobody. We're going there to meet our African brothers and sisters. So when we can learn things while we're over here, things like solar, all these other things. So when we reach over yonder, we are an asset to the people them. So after a while, the people themselves will be going to the government and say, oh, they find a way to bring we brothers and sisters home. Because when they come home, our standard of living rises. Because the unity is strength. Concerning that message that was sent, sometimes a person reveals themselves when you look closely. Because she said nobody, Africa don't want you there, and she spelled it, don't want it there. I think she spelled it wrong, Yeah. So these kind of comments, it's not even a movie, it's not shake we. Because as the honorable examples that is shown, the Africa people love I. My brother went over there in 1975 and we still speak of the cordial welcome they get. And I don't want to be too long, and I will close with this one saying here. What we want to see, let us be. What we want to see in other people, let us be. Because we influence people, we influence the world indirectly. In 1980, we started saying blessed love. It was not popular saying. Right now, it's bigger than Rasta. Ghana Rasta, they say blessed love. The whole of the world put their hand on their heart. Blessed love. And as Trini say, long time, when we were small, when we was younger, Trini, the only woman who was dreadlocks was Rasta, or persuaded by Rasta. Right now, at the over there, the beauty with them long locks, them going in the hair salon today, and couple hours they come out long natty Congo. And they pass it, you as the Rasta one straight. Then they go after, you see? Not knowing that is we influence them, my lord. So let us continue. And as I say, what we want to see in other people, let us be. My Lord and Empress. Blessed Lord.
Give thanks. One of the man that brought Bobo Shanti culture to Trinidad, living legend, our honorable priest Imsley, and now we have another living legend, Bongo Jack. Final sound, Naya Bingi Elder. We reason offline and share a lot of wisdom. Please, what is your sound for Trinidad and Tobago family in this perilous time?
Well, first time I would like to say to each and every one, near and far, that we have to put our trust and faith in the arm Almighty. They that have, and they that have not. Because I say, we are in a battle that we are ill prepared for. But him also say, in this time we have to become a bigger man than we ever was before. But I like to tell the people that we live in the time of Matthew chapter 24. when a great tribulation was prophesied to hit the earth. They call it a tribulation that was never before since creation. It's a time of darkness before the light. Now we live in a time when we actually see a Babylon fall, Nebuchadnezzar fall, Medes and Persia fall, Alexander the Greek fall. Now the last beast what Daniel prophesied about in the book of Daniel, the European nation. Now ever since Haile Selassie sat upon his throne in 1930, there has been a steady decline of the European empire. Now one thing we must understand, when an empire is in decline, when an enemy is in decline and retreating, he does his greatest destruction. So we as Ras Tafari have to watch and pray. See what little food we could put in place for the people, because we live in a place, don't mind Trinidad have plenty money, There's some people here, and when the morning come, they don't know where they're finding a meal from, because there's no even distribution of wealth and there's no love for the poor. Here, that's why the judgment had to rip up here too, because no place is exempted from the judgment, because here is not an island of righteous people. We have carnival. It's more or less a pagan festival and nakedness and lewdness and a sort of modern Sodom and Gomorrah vibes. But it is said that it is our culture. Culture is our way of life. So we must be very mindful in this time here. We will go through some dread times, because as Ras Tafari say, according to studying the prophecies, we expect Haile Selassie at the Ancient of Days, Daniel chapter 7, to return to his throne in Ethiopia, for the world to know that the Rasta man knew who the I Am Almighty was, and for him to declare himself to the whole world, because many gods, but one King of Kings. So let us be vigilant and put our trust in the Most High, whether we have or whether we have not. Let us remember the motherless, the fatherless, the widow, the orphan. As the Bongo Levi say, Rastafari mission right now is the fulfillment of the creed. May the hungry be fed. The blessing upon I pray, O Haile Selassie Empress Menenai. May the hungry ones be fed. May the naked ones be clothed. May the sick ones be nourished. May the aged be protected and the infants cared for. So just preparation, we need food. Sometimes in this time, it's not just the beast we fighting, because the CARICOM government had come together and more work as intermediators of peace. It would have been a different approach. But in this time, these certain things have to come to pass, my Lord, because unless these things they come to pass, Babylon will always be reigning over I and I. So we come into the last days, not the last days of humanity, but the last days of the reign of chaos on the earth, evil, injustice, and all the things that is of darkness. It's time for them to be raised. This is a new age. This is the age of Aquarius. This is the age of a renewal. This is the age of when I and I, the black people, start to do wonderful things that we are not always marveled. Look at what they used to.
Not here in the eye. Wi-Fi the guy. You see when him start go up in the high heavens, Wi-Fi the guy just come in and sabotage the sound, the frequency too high. Bongo Jack, talk again, let me hear.
Ras Tafari?
Yes, sir. There I was saying about the youths doing wonderful things, the age of Aquarius. Like the thought there. Continue.
No, well, I it's 500 and odd years we have been under the domination of the final beast, and the time is up. But the scriptures speak about the final 40 and 2 months and the final 40 and 2 months, which is 7 years. Now, according to I'm understanding, we are in the second 40 and 2. After this second 40 and 2, the prophecy said, the ancient of days shall return upon the throne of David. Because right now it's vacant, you know, but they are still. So we look forward to that as Ras Tafari studying the prophecies for the return of the Most High in flesh. Because they show you that in they say according to flesh in Acts chapter 2. It says according to flesh, the Most High shall return upon the throne of David. It didn't say according to spirit. So we look forward at Daniel chapter 7 fulfill that the ancient of days shall return, because it's only he could really throw down the beast with all the arms and ammunition, them nuclear and all them things, you know.
Here how I interpret that. Here how I interpret that, because Mindset said that with the sacrifice of Yeshua, the heart of man became the temple of the Most High. So how I interpret the return, you know, is that it's I and I, you know, I and I become the Ras Tafari in flesh, because we are now Ras Tafari. You know what I mean? He live within all of us. That's why they can't kill I and I, you know what I mean? I know everyone interpret it different, and me now said that Haile Selassie the first now go return in physical either, because I don't know the future. But what I'm certain is that is I and I coming together. That is the power that will throw down the beast. It's not any one individual, and His Majesty was very clear not to look to any individual to do that. You know what I mean? So this is one of the problems that we have, is that people waiting for a sky Jesus or a sky Majesty to come down and solve their problems. So they just passive and make things happen. We are saying, and I know they are not saying this Asian, but me just want to clarify, because we have a lot of viewers that are new to the liberty. This means that all of us have a role to play. So don't feel like nobody's coming to rescue you. You know what I mean? So we have to be very clear with that message, because I don't want people to wait upon somebody to come save them. Because you will go down in the judgment. But sorry to interrupt the elder.
I advise people to take a proper look at Daniel chapter 7. No, it's not what I man saying of thus to the Most High. He said while the beast was still boasting and reviling God, one whose hair was white like wool and his eyes like flame of fire sat upon the throne.
Which people have hair like wool, Bongo Jack?
Ethiopian man.
Okay, I just clarifying.
But what's saying, the specification there, now it's two throne fighting each other, you know. One is in the west where the Pope sat upon, and one is in the east where Haile Selassie sat upon. These are the two. This is not just a physical battle, you know. Remember, you know, man was the first one that fall short to them fire angels and them will make mistake. Then man come and follow through them temptation. See? So what we're looking at now is that the throne in the east from since 75 has been vacant. And plenty man feel that Selassie dead in the flesh. But if you touch the scriptures, you may see where the lamb went through a crucifixion. But concerning the prophecies around the lion, never know that. So we must be mindful that Jah no dead. They're just trying to fool the black population. And we must look out for his return. No. People might say, 100 and so much years. No dread. It now goes so. It have a place in Ecuador where people average life is 130. Haile Selassie is the mastermind of health and strength and longevity and creation. So anytime we feel we are hard as we work, we have to work. We're not sitting down and waiting, you know. But the powers have his part to play also. He come to the soul of death and hell and Satan and the captives free. We're still in captivity now, yeah. So we just have to prepare ourselves aesthetically, mentally, and physically, try to be healthy, eat good food, pray to the Most High, and do an eye portion. And in his return, he will do the rest. Rastafari.
Give thanks. I'm going to my Pan-African elder now. I was worried. I thought we lost you before you said your final word. So I was a little bit worried when you dropped off. But I'm so happy to see the eye. Meeting the eye for the first time. It's been an honor to have you on this platform with our Rastafari family. Auntie Thea, I hope I can call you Auntie Thea. But give us your final words to the global family.
Okay, I'll read. Well, I had written something to say tonight. I'll read some of it because it was.
And then also remind us about the event coming up as well. Remind us about the event.
Say again?
No, I said remind us about the event that's coming up as well when you're
On
finished
Sunday.
reading. Yes.
All right, I'll have to. I don't have the details. I'll have to send it out to people.
Okay, no problem.
I don't have it done. Yeah. Okay. So So I want to affirm that we must let one view emerge. That's love, L-O-V-E. Let one view emerge.
Rastafari.
I will quote the words of Emperor Haile Selassie I, His Imperial Majesty. Peace demands the united efforts of us all. Who can ignite the fuse? Unless the smaller nations are accorded their proper voice in the settlement of the world's problems, confidence will become that much harder. Unless the rights of the least of men are assiduously protected as those of the greatest, the seeds of confidence will fall on barren soil. The stake of earth, the stake of each one of us is identical, life or death. We all wish to live, end quote. I will add that in order for peace to be assured among small nations, there must, I ended the quote, so I'm speaking now.
Yes.
I will add that in order for peace to be assured among small nations, there must be a powerful bond of unity amongst them. Unification of the nations of the Caribbean archipelago is a must. If we ever needed unity amongst us, it is now. Unity is the glue that will bind us together and empower us as one strong, unified United States of the Caribbean. That being said, I will continue. Time is of the essence. Unification of the people is a driving force to engender a state of readiness. Individual and collective strengthening of the Ras Tafari and Pan-African in the context of the current milieu is a long way off. Even with this, we are once again guided by the words of His Imperial Majesty. We must become members of a new race, overcoming petty prejudices, owning our ultimate allegiance, not to nation, but to our fellow men within the human community. This reflects a global community united in a common purpose. That's my final thought.
That says so much about you. You're now one of my favorite auntie. I tell you that it's hard for you to lose. I know when you see like that, you have my heart. You won my heart right there. So give thanks. Empress Q, I'm coming to the eye. Final sounds. Mighty.
Give thanks. I mean, so my I final sound is Jana dead. The battle is not for the swift, but for those who could endure it. Harden not your hearts. You know, everything we reason is about the understanding as well that this will be about people standing firm in love and in unity and not falling into distractions or into a survival mode where all principle, all justice, all equality goes out the window. Rastafari to the end will lead the way by being the people of truths and rights. And that is what I have to stand firm for now in this hour. And even as tribulation will definitely be drastic and tumultuous. And I have to look forward to it as well, because all the things that we say we stand for, I stand for, we will only know for sure when that hour comes, and I give thanks. I think that ones and ones who have been chosen by the Most High, who know the Most High, are gathering. The strengthening of the community is happening. And ones are seeing it necessary now more than ever to set their sights on the motherland and repatriate. So I give thanks again for the opportunity to be part of this illustrious panel. In this moment of time, this part of our history, it will definitely be marked. We do not know what the future holds, but we know that we have put forth a higher frequency in the ether, and consciousness is rising, and we give thanks for that, and all glory to the Most High. Xavier Mascan, give thanks.
Perfect love, my sister. We're going straight to our elder, again, powerful Trini-Levi. We're gonna arrange a separate reasoning on the Ethiopia works. I'm very fascinated about the travels to Africa and Ethiopia, extensive. But give us your final sounds to the global family this evening.
What came to my mind as we closing is that we as Rastafari have to put our spirit where our mouth is, our money where our mouth is, and our endeavors where we so desire. Because so many things have been said and so little has been done. It's time. There's nothing more powerful than an idea which time has come.
Yes.
And the time has come for Rastafari to come together. The All Mansions is making a great effort. Let us use this umbrella to foster the greater unity. Every man has a duty in his region, in his calling, abide in your calling. But now the calling is for us to come together as one to protect and to strengthen our movements. Old Mansion is going to be calling a meeting soon, a general meeting. And we hope that all the ones who are standing for unity make that stand and make it possible. Marcus Garvey has done a great works by bringing many people together in a time beyond this time. So now that we have stand on the shoulders of great men who has prepared the tracks for us, let us use it wisely and fulfill that destiny. One God, one aim, one destiny. Ethiopia yesterday, today, and forevermore. Let us make it happen. Rastafari.
Rastafari. Mighty, mighty, mighty. I want to just bring the attention before we see the seal of prayer. We are raising funds for the RMO Rastafari Mansion and Organization effort in Jamaica. Every strong end, the ones that have been going out, different teams of ones that have been going out in their cars, spending their own money to take care packages to their brethren and sistren. Big up Ras Simba, brethren you see here from House of Dread, who went out with other ones. You see the different care packages that are there. Small efforts, it's only scratching the surface. We know that, but the ones are not waiting, there's a GoFundMe that is here. You can scan the QR code and give a contribution. Ones are not waiting for funds to come in. Again, ones are going out and funding. And these runs are running around 200,000 Jamaican per vehicle, per journey sometime, because by the time you pay the toll to go out to the affected areas from Kingston, gas money, you have to eat food, the care packages, it costs. So we are raising funds so that we can sustainable. This is going to need to happen for the foreseeable future. So the Rastafari Relief, Rebuild, Rise project is in effect. Some of the things that you hear me telling my Trinidad family are lessons learned from the disaster in Jamaica, which is just like a war happened there, because it really looks like a bomb went off. Foliage gone from all of the trees, house them mash up, you know what I mean? So we can learn lessons. We don't have to wait for it to happen again before we tell ones to start preparing. So when you hear me about the Starlink, the generators, the solar generators, the storage of food, grains, nuts, beans, peas, corn, these things that are non-perishable. It's very important. I hear Empress Queen ask a question, how much we need for a month. I didn't hear it get answered. I don't know, but these are the questions that we need to be asking ourselves and answering as a community. Is how much does it take to feed 100 people for a month? That look like, you know what I mean? And this is where the mapping comes into. Because one thing I want to be clear, because we have a lot of new people here, this is not a platform to convert anybody to anyone. I don't spend time arguing with people. We are here gathering the like minds. Please be aware of that. This is the like mind time. We gather with people. So all of the people come and talk about Africa this and Africa that. We don't mind that. That's why I made it an example, because we're so far past that right now. We're so far. But I just want to make sure that the younger people who have not had a chance to travel to Africa, who have not had a chance to experience the reality, are not fooled by the propaganda. But in terms of the people who have made up their minds that they are against unity, that they are against Africa, that they want to stay divided, that they want to start tribal war, I'm not here to convert those people. You know what I mean? We call them peepers over here on this channel. Them come and peep and them do what them feel like. We are here to gather the like minds. And what the elder said, Trini-Levi, it touched a nerve, because he said, put your money where your mouth is. We have 57,000 subscribers and we only have 45 monthly subscribers, which is less than 1%. You know what I mean? It's 0.0 something, 0.00% of people who support the platform that actually help to fund the platform. So we're asking the global family, put your money where your mouth is for Rastafari Media. If you don't like I come and chat too much, go and support one of the other platforms, Rastafari TV, I Just Star, Just Ja Magazine, buy a monthly subscription. Put your money where your mouth is. Support one of our Rastafari platforms. I Never Knew TV with Bridgen, who's doing great things on the Pan-African side. Find a media platform and put money into it. If we don't have our own narrative, can be free and independent. So, and nobody's gonna give us the news. This is not gonna happen on CNN. This is not gonna have this panel, family. This is not gonna happen on NBC or MSNBC. This have to be a brethren who say, you know what? Make me call Bongo Jack and make me call Empress Sharon and make me put together a panel of some Trinidad people to talk about this crisis coming up. You know what I mean? And this is not my full-time work. I still have a full-time job where I have to put food on my table, but I would love to do this full-time and hire a staff and have a budget to run a proper news operation and media operation. But we have to fund it. You know what I mean? So please, as we are going through this, consider becoming a monthly subscriber. $5, $10, anything, any mickle make a muckle, one cocoa full basket. All right, so I'm going to allow our honorable priest to give us a sealing Isis, and we're going to call it an evening. This was a history on this channel. This will live for evermore as one of the historic classic episodes. We broke a record. We had over, I think, 150 people watching live at one time, which for our humble channel was a record. Our previous record was 101 on our Empress Menin panel. So this was a great, strength for the channel. And if you're watching for the first time, I just want to say humbly, we are honored by your presence, and we hope you return again. All right, honorable, seal us with a word of Isis.
Majesty, my lord. There's two things I wanted to say when you say about narrative.
Yes.
We as Rastafari, we want to put a new narrative in the tongues of the younger ones. So we say we stop calling our ancestors slaves. They were prisoners of war. They were not slaves. They never bowed. And this transatlantic slave trade, it was really a European kidnapping scheme. So we had to put them new at them because we listened to the story from the hunter, and we not listen to the hunted story. So there's a little thing about, as I did say, narrative, my lad. So we call for a reverence, a virtual reverence in the courts of Rastafari. To the work, we are servants of God. Let us follow the path that our masters have trod. With the balm of your counsel, our strength to renew, let us do with our hands what our mind tell us to do. Work in salvation on the ends of the earth. Man of right is God in flesh. Woman of right is goddess, said the Black Christ. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for us, brethren and sisters, to dwell together in unity and love. It's like the precious ointment upon our head that went down onto our beard. Even Aaron's beard and went down onto the skirts of his garments. As the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountain of Zion. From where the Lord commanded his majesty blessings, even life and love forevermore. So hail our God, Selassie, Jehovah God, Jah Rastafari. Our almighty God, Jah Rastafari, great and terrible God, Jah Rastafari is the almighty God. Jah, who seated in Zion and reign the hearts of all flesh. O thou most high, eternal Father, Jehovah God, Jah Rastafari. Hear us and bless us, O Lord. Keep and sanctify us all. And cause thy holy face to shine upon us, thy children, so we shall be saved and redeemed. O thou most high God, Jah Rastafari. As we go to a different place of our abode, we ask thee continually to guide and protect us. May the good Lord keep and sanctify us all and give us his peace. Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, Jah Rastafari. Holy Empress Memenai, Selassie, Jah Rastafari. My Lord and Empress.
Bongo Jack.
Yes, I.
I still wanted to organize the Zoom meeting with RMO so we could find out the necessities this conviction need, and we could try to organize and continue to send to Jamaica as soon as possible. See?
Yes,
Aye.
Yes, I. So you see,
And give thanks for and give thanks for the gathering and for all the contribution the strong Empress and the strong kings and queens make, I'm glorified. That's
So the item say I get my marching orders from my elders. I have work, I'm gonna stop get work, but I give time that I'm in a position to do that, you know what I mean? So we will make that happen. And there you have it, family. The Most High has blessed us tonight. History is being made. We are living in unprecedented times, but with unprecedented times come unprecedented warriors to fulfill the mission. Is your name written in the Island Book of Life? What is your role in this great struggle, this great war? These are the questions you have to ask yourself. Until then, Rastafari Independent Non-Aligned Media will be here, making sure that the Lions tell our own story. Why? Because the time has come, the Lions, to tell our own story. And this is the Lion's Voice.
this is Warrior King, and the time has come for the lions and the lioness to tell their own story. This is the lion's voice. Give thanks and praise for the wonderful blessing that's been poured on me. Give thanks and praise. Jah use a yet an instrument to set the people free. Jah give her the powers to chant. Jah give her the powers to chant. Ras Tafari, the lion's voice.
This is Mama Thea of Asli Pure, and when I want to hear the story from the lion and the lioness, I listen to Lion Voice with Ras Kwasi Bonsu.
Greetings, this is Ras Shiloh. The time has come for the lions to tell their own story. See? This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, sir? Ras Shiloh said that. Are you satisfied? Wipe those tears from your eyes. I'm all alone, still you thought I was telling a lie. This is the lion's voice. Keep it locked, right, sir?
What are you waiting for? Come together, calling from near and far. Know who you are. What are you waiting for? Rally up, it takes the dust. What are you waiting for? Ancestors paved the way for us. Yes, I am Ketis Oyonde, asking, what are you waiting for to come together? The time has come for the lions to tell our own story. This is the lion's voice.
Yes, Jah people, this is Michael Shemai representing. I will say, hear the lion voice, saying it is time for the lions and the lionesses to tell their own story. King David killed Goliath with a stone, we original dread.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the lion's voice, we come to tell our story. Ras Tafari, live it. Hey, the lion's voice. Ras Tafari.
Alright, listen to me now, people. The lion roar, no dog bark. See? The lion's voice with Kwasi Bonsu. Time right now for the lion to tell his story. See? Listen up.
Amina, the time has come for the lioness to tell our own story. No surrender, no retreat, we are Jaja soldier. Rougher than the streets, tougher than a boulder. Bigging up Lamb's voice. Now put it, I Jalifa said that.
Yeah, now the time has come for the lion to tell his own story. Yeah, the one them called Celestial I represent for the mighty lion voice. And this a shook up your planet tectonic. As me sip up my roots and tectonic. And you can't make me jump nor get panic. Have the engine a run like mechanic. Room.
I will never stop, hail the Most High. And I will never stop, call Ras Tafari. Blessed love, this is Kushite representing for the lion's voice. We are here to tell our own story. Ras Tafari.
Yeah, David Dread of Steel Pulse, and I'm saying hail to the lion voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here. Hear me now. Yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice.